Welcome back to the Exponential. My name is RSquared. I'll be your host today. We have ourselves a good one, folks. It's going to look like a video game out there, and it might not be the video game you might expect, because you might always expect whatever the sports commentator is going to say to be, oh, it's going to be just like Madden. But this time, it's not going to be like Madden. It's going to be a little more like some of our childhoods growing up. Way back when, if you have been born in the last 40 years, you know these guys. They're two little colored aliens. One of them's blue, one of them's red. One of them's an echidna, and the other's a hedgehog. That's right, Sonic the Hedgehog and Knuckles the echidna. They've taken a place right here on this Detroit Lions NFL team in their running back room. They've called them Motor City for many a year. But only this year has it truly felt like the motor has been running in the city. Jahmyr Gibbs taking the role of Sonic the Hedgehog. He was awarded the fastest running back in the NFL just earlier this week. David Montgomery earned one of the awards for the strongest running back, and that makes him Knuckles. But as are all video games, especially Sega, there's one particular villain. And on the other side, it's Jaden Reed-Botnick. Of course, he'll lead the way for the Green Bay Packers with the automatic machine gun that is Jordan Love's arm. Jordan Love has been perfect in these last few weeks, ever since that fateful day in Week 9 where they lost to the Detroit Lions at home in Green Bay. Now, they've shifted the field and are looking for a win more than anywhere else. The Detroit Lions have a chance to win this one right here, right now, and clinch their playoffs. They can clinch the playoffs with a win here today. Green Bay's going to try and stop that. But here's a big one for the Packers, is that if they get a win here, they're still in it. They are still in the NFC North conversation. If they don't pick up a win, well then, the Lions are all but going to have to run away with this one, with the exception of Minnesota being left on their schedule. But the Packers need a win here if they're going to stay in the NFC North conversation. This is a big one for Green Bay. They're coming off of a huge win against Miami on Thanksgiving. Detroit looked a little bit rocky on Thanksgiving against Chicago, but a late clock management snafu that resulted in the firing of Matt Eberflus saved the day for Detroit. But on the other side, Matt LaFleur, one of the most respected NFL head coaches, by me at least, did a fantastic job, coached a phenomenal game, and with a few mistakes from the Dolphins basically shooting themselves in the foot, it managed to come up as a win for the Green Bay Packers. The Packers rolled to a 30-17 win. It seemed in full domination until late in the game when the Dolphins started to make their original comeback. These two quarterbacks have been absolutely perfect throughout this point of the season. Jordan Love, 194 of 308 on the year, 2,518 yards, 20 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Jared Goff, a little bit ahead of him, but he's also played almost double the amount of games that Jordan Love's played. Not really, that's an exaggeration, but Jordan Love missed 3 weeks. Jared Goff, 244 of 340. He was awarded the award for the most accurate passer in the NFL. He has been perfect. Those 22 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, those 9 interceptions aren't very pretty, but that just shows you that he doesn't throw very many incompletions. Most of them are interceptions if he does throw them. He's only thrown 100 incompletions on the year. He has been perfect as a quarterback. Very well, the most accurate quarterback in the league. He's had himself a year so far. He might even be in conversation for the MVP award at the end of this year. And it's Jared Goff. At the beginning of this whole trade, people thought that the Rams won. The Rams kind of did win. Matthew Stafford led the Rams to a Super Bowl victory in his first year under the helm in LA. But Jared Goff has looked a little more long-term, and the Lions could be seeing themselves at a bit of a Super Bowl themselves. Here on Thursday Night Football, the Detroit Lions live from Ford Field. It is a chilly day, but thankfully it's a dome, much to the disadvantage of the Packers, because the Packers love the cold weather, as we saw against Miami. Detroit's got a real advantage here, because let me tell you, I know it might seem a little cliche, but the Detroit Lions home here at Ford Field is roaring. I mean, you could hear them. The boos raining down when the Packers ran out of the tunnel. I don't expect the Packers to be able to get a single play call out clearly in this one without having at least a little bit of issues. I'm expecting delay of games all around. For me, RSquared's key to the games, I got to say, it's got to be that Packers safeties down there. They have Bullard down there. That's very crucial, because say LaFleur decides that he's going to tell his new defensive coordinator, I believe it's Hafley, And Hafley says, okay, we're running man on this one. We're going to run man defense. That's a tough defense to run against this Detroit Lions team. Because sure, you're going to put Xavier McKinney over on Amon-Ra St. Brown. But unless those safeties are playing their highest, you're going to get a press route on Mr. Jamison Williams, and then you got yourself a 65-yard touchdown. It's all going to come down to these safeties in this one for Green Bay. If Green Bay's safeties can't lock down the deep game for Detroit, Goff is going to need to throw underneath, which, I mean, the linebackers have their own thing to do. Really, it's up to Green Bay's defense whether they win this one or not. They have to find a way to stop Jared Goff. 72% completion percentage over the last few weeks for Jared Goff. He has been perfect. There's been absolutely no stopping him. What chance do they have? Well, the Packers probably have the best chance out of anyone in this year. Jeff Hafley, Matt LaFleur leading the way. These are two very well-respected head coaches. The Lions were off to the best start they've ever seen as a franchise. Dan Campbell, largely considered the bravest coach in the NFL, and for a good reason, too. He goes on it on fourth down more than any other head coach ever. These two quarterbacks are in a league of their own. Jared Goff, again, I'm going to keep showering him with all the praises he needs. He's been fantastic. He's been the most accurate quarterback. He's been absolutely phenomenal. But on the other side, Jordan Love. I love my boy, Jordan Love. I love Love. I predicted him from the beginning. I've said it multiple times, way back when he was first drafted. People say, RSquared, what was your steal of the draft? Jordan Love. They're like, no way, that's crazy. I watched him in college. I watched those Utah clips. He was fantastic. He was pinpoint accurate. He had a nice dual threat to it as well. So let's go ahead and get into this game as the kickoff sail into the back of the end zone. Out comes Jared Goff first as the Packers decided to kick it off. Second in the NFL in completion percentage, 72% for Goff. And that's Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback that the Packers unseated last week. I mean, Tua still had an 124 quarterback rating. I mean, he played a great game. I-formation start for the Lions. You're going to see a lot of this. Goff doesn't even have to throw the ball that often. They have Montgomery. They have Gibbs. They need to get a nice balance in there. We'll see what they start off. It's going to be a run to Montgomery. He'll get about 2 yards. Montgomery recently won the award for hardest rushing running back, yards after contact. He's just a beast. He just runs through. He's not like Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs tries to get the edge sometimes. David Montgomery just said, you know what? Who needs an edge? That guy doesn't look strong enough to take me. He just runs through, and that's exactly the kind of play style that Dan Campbell loves in his offense. Sam Laporta, they missed him greatly here in Detroit. He had a good game last week. We'll see if he can keep up the good work here for Detroit. Goff will go drop back to pass on this one to Amon-Ra St. Brown for a gain of about 5 on the play. Brings up third and short for Detroit. Bold prediction, we will see a kick returned all the way. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible. You got Khalif Raymond, who was voted the best punt returner. I'm going to use that all day today because the Lions and Packers had a stacked group on that core. I mean, if it's going to be someone, it's probably going to be Khalif Raymond. Might even be Keyshawn Nixon as well. Keyshawn Nixon. 3rd and 2, Goff. Drops back to pass, and he's got a man at St. Brown on a nice little out route to the left side. That'll go for about a gain of 5 and a Detroit Lions first down. So a nice little route there. They had Bullard in coverage. Bullard? Not sure. So it was a motion by St. Brown. He cuts it upfield, and then a nice little cover right. It was soft zone there. It looks like it was an attempt at man, but that's not a great start because that was just an amazing route run by St. Brown. And I mean, a nice little pick. It wasn't really a pick, but Bullard fell for it just a bit. Williams in motion, I formation for the Lions. They'll go play action towards Montgomery. And it's incomplete. A good job by the Packers defense breaking that one up from Amon-Ra St. Brown. That ball couldn't have been more perfect, but great defense from Green Bay. That was a dot by Jared Goff. I mean, hit him right between the 1 and the 4. Phenomenal throw. Great job by the defense being able to break that one up. So Amon-Ra St. Brown is kind of the key to this game. If they can get either St. Brown or Jamison Williams going against this Packers secondary, Green Bay might be in a bit of trouble. Goff under center, Montgomery still the back. Williams in motion. Packers showing blitz. They rush 5, handoff to Montgomery, who goes through and gets a little more. He's got a nice cut on the edge. He'll get 13. David Montgomery, what am I saying? I'm telling you, he just goes through. He doesn't need to go around. He just runs right through the defensive line and sees where it gets him from there. And that was a strong run of 13 yards there. They brought the blitz. It looked blown up from the beginning. Great O-line work. Great job by Laporta picking up 2 guys, and then Montgomery just did the rest, getting 13 yards. But great job possibly saving the touchdown there by the Packers secondary, man. We're going to have a high-scoring one, I'm telling you right now. 1st and 10, Goff under center. Williams in motion. Goff will go play action, and he'll dump it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. First we've seen of him today. He makes a nice little move to get about 7 yards. Whew. He has officially stolen the first ankles of this football game. I expect to see a lot more of that from him. But just a nice little move there to get the Packers rolling, literally. I mean, they went flying on that one. So the Lions offense off to a good start on this one. The dynamic duo of Montgomery and Gibbs. Gibbs has 1,200 yards. Montgomery has 1,000 on the dot. They both have 11 total touchdowns and just over 250 receiving yards. I think it's just over 270. Blitz coming for Goff. He gets it off, and it's caught. Oh, it's dropped by Jameson Williams. Great job by Valentine on the coverage there. But Goff got absolutely nailed. Great job disguising the blitz there by Hafley. As you see, it's the linebacker 58, I believe that is. I'll try to get a name there, but he brought the blitz fast there. I'm trying, but I don't have the proper equipment out today, so I'm making do with ESPN. 3rd and 3, Goff drops back to pass. He'll look upfield. He's got a man. It's Jameson Williams, who's got some running room. He's down inside the 10. And that was an easy catch there. That's when you get him in the middle of the field. Jameson Williams just crosses right down the middle, and it was just a foot race, and Xavier McKinney wasn't fast enough there. He beat him from the very beginning. It looks like they were kind of trying to play very soft man coverage in that. No, they have to fix that if they're going to keep playing the game. If you're going to play – see, there's kind of an awkward spot there because they can run that all day on you. They will happily run that all day long on this Packers defense. You got to find a way to stop that if you're Green Bay. Williams in motion again. Handoff goes to Gibbs. Gibbs has the left end. He'll be halted, but there is a flag that will go for a loss of 1, but there are many a flag. My guess is it's going to be an offensive holding penalty. We'll see what the call is now. I'm familiarizing myself with the Packers defense. Isaiah McDuffie was the one who came on the blitz there, so number 58 is Isaiah McDuffie. Is he in any way related to Trent McDuffie? I'm not sure. So that we'll see what the flag is. We get a look at a referee, John Hussey. It is holding on Detroit, as expected. Oh, apparently Siri thinks her name's John Hussey. So John Hussey's our veteran referee today, 10 years in the NFL. Yeah, obvious, blatant holding by the Detroit lefternmost guard there. So 1st and goal from the Lions, this time from the 15-yard line, maybe the 20. I'm not sure. I don't really remember the – yeah, it's the 20. I have to get back into the groove. Jared Goff will dump one off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs gets a nice gain of 7 on the play, bringing up 2nd and goal from about the 13. Nice little running back screen to Gibbs. Just over 10 minutes to go here in the first quarter. The Lions putting together a remarkable drive. We'll see if Matt LaFleur and Jeff Hafley can manage to halt this Lions offense here. So far the Lions have been running tough. They have Montgomery in the game, so perhaps they're looking for more of a deep pass or maybe even a run, but I don't see what the logic behind a run would be. Yeah, blitz coming. He'll flick one in there to Sam Laporta to get him down at the 6-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal. They are saying it's a catch. So 3rd and goal from the 6. So the Lions chipping away. Can the Packers get a much-needed stand here? This would be huge. If they could take the crowd out of it by not allowing the opening drive, 10 minutes to go here in the first, 5-minute drive. It's been a great drive, but if the Pack can hold them to 3 and then score immediately after, you might get a chance to take this crowd out of the game just a little more. Because right now, I can tell they're roaring. 3rd and goal. Goff drops back to pass, looks towards the end zone. He looks deep. It's incomplete, but there's numerous flags. And there will be pass interference on Tim Patrick, so the Packers won't get off the field. And that will go against Willman. I didn't get a great look. It'll go against Evan Williams, the safety. Yeah, it wasn't even that great of a throw by Goff. He just saw a lot of contact and kind of threw it that way. The offense came against Tim Patrick. See what it was there is Keyshawn Nixon got there really early on there and holds him back from running his route. Yeah, Nixon was all over him. So that's going to be against Keyshawn Nixon. Yeah. So number 25. He's getting told the call now. Bit of confusion between John Hussey and his staff. We'll see what the official call is now. Looks like they might not have called PI, but hard to tell. I think they did. We'll see where the ball goes. I don't have my sound up, so I was trying to lip read. Yeah, they called. Did they call? It looks like they called illegal contact. So it looks like it's going to be illegal contact instead of pass interference. So big blitz coming from Green Bay, or at least that's what they're showing. Laporta in motion. Montgomery, it's a clear run to Monty, and he's in for the touchdown. He walks in. Knuckles will strike first, and David Montgomery will head in the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit, and the crowd is alive here in the Motor City. Oh, what a cool theme. They gave them like glowing wristbands. That's fun. So the Lions are wearing Honolulu blue, so I picked the closest thing that I thought might have been Honolulu blue looking. So I'm pretending to be a Lions fan. Although I kind of want the Packers to win just to make things more interesting in the NFL. But the Lions are off to a great start. We'll see how the Packers can respond. Lions stormed out of the gates. That was a fantastic drive, capitalized by the David Montgomery touchdown. Extra point from Jake Bates is great. He won the award for most clutch kicker. I didn't even know that was such a thing, but Jake Bates, the most clutch kicker of the year thus far. Well, I'm just wearing the blue. I'm a Doll fan. I have no stock in this game. I have zero stock in this game. I want the Packers to win to mix things up, but I couldn't find a green shirt. So I wore blue. And I tried to make it Honolulu blue. It makes sense. I'm sorry. No, please. Go. I predicted Jordan Love's success. Remember the good times. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this new Star Wars show yet. Not sponsored by Disney Plus, but I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. First 2 episodes, they were a little slow. Interesting story, but a little bit of a slow start to the show. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, Jude Law is going to show up for most of, hopefully the rest. I expected to see him a lot more in the first 2 episodes than we did, but we only saw him for like 10 seconds of screen time with his actual face right at the end. But I mean, it's an interesting story. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, interesting. It's an intriguing storyline. So the Packers offense will take the field next against this Lions defense, which is taking a few shots ahead of this one. Of course, missing the big defensive end, edge rusher, Mr. Aiden Hutchinson, one of the best in the game. They're also missing D-tackle, DJ Reader, defensive ends, Levi Onwuzurike, John Paschal, a cornerback, Emmanuel Mosley, an offensive tackle, Giovanni Manu, alongside of him. So the Lions aren't exactly in a fantastic shape on that defensive front, but the Packers are missing some threats as well. We saw a bit of the defense struggling there. It's because they're going to be without linebacker Edgar and Cooper and cornerbacks Corey Ballantyne and Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander being a big one. And then they are, of course, also missing wide receiver Romeo Dobbs and center Jacob Monk. So the Packers are missing some of their key members of this one. So we'll see if they can get going. Obviously, missing Jair Alexander last week in Miami didn't seem to make too much of an effect on them. but we'll see how it makes an effect. It's already seeming to have a bit of an effect on the coverage of Jamison Williams, who went right down the middle on that one. Because obviously you can just shadow your best player, Xavier McKinney, wherever Amon-Ra is going to be, or wherever you think Jamison Williams might be going deep. If he does decide to go deep, but you can't cover both of them at the same time, and that's kind of where Jair Alexander came in place. He was a lockdown corner that could have covered Amon-Ra, and Xavier McKinney could have kind of roamed the way he does. How's the game going? It's going off to a good start. 9:41 to go here in the first quarter. Lions lead by 7 after a beautiful 5.5-minute drive. First time we're seeing Jordan Love on the field thus far. It's Jordan Love. He's got 11 interceptions, tied third most in the NFL. He hasn't been the most accurate. He's had some mistakes, a little bit of decision-making that he needs some work on. He's got an issue with falling down and throwing the ball. I think I'm going to throw it out of bounds. Ends up throwing it 3 yards, goes the other way for a touchdown. We saw that a few times in the middle of the year. So he's definitely got to work on throwing the ball away in a better fashion than he does. But Love's mostly been a great quarterback. 20-11, so touchdown interception ratio. He hasn't been bad. A little bit of potentially corner blitz coming from Detroit. They will bring it. They'll go play action. Lions rush 5. Love looking deep, and he's taken down on the first play. It's a loss of 7. The Lions get home. Oh, wow. And a big celebration from Za'Darius Smith. He's a former Green Bay Packer, and things are off to a horrific start for this Packers O-line. And Za'Darius Smith just flat out beat him on the edge there. Wow. That was just sheer power off the edge. Love was looking really deep. He might have had something because he was about to unload that ball. But that was a great job by Za'Darius Smith just beating the right tackle there. I don't think they're that. I mean, hey, they got Smith. Love has to step up again. Pressure coming. He'll take it himself. He takes a shot to the ankles. He'll get back all the yards he lost just about to make it 3rd and long. My prediction ahead of the game was Packers 34, Lions 31. I took a gamble. I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to make things interesting. So I was kind of like hoping it into existence. Aaron Glenn, the Lions defensive coordinator, he's up, one of the very best up in a job. Wow, that is a lot of signs that say 3rd down on it. Did they give those out too? The Lions marketing team is on fire today. They have the glowing wristbands and now the 3rd down posters. What? So 3rd and 9 coming up. Blitz coming for Love. He's running out of time. He throws, and it is incomplete, heading towards Jaden Reed. A lot of flags. It's going to be PI. Jaden Reed appears to be interfered with on his route. He was kind of far away from the ball. So there had to have been something happen. When a player's on the floor, something's bound to have happened. We'll hear the call from John Hussey. It is, in fact, pass interference. So the Packers catch a break, get a 1st down. It was on Brian Branch, one of the best for the Lions all year. He's been one of the best in general at his position. We'll see what happened. Ooh, okay. Good job selling it by Jaden Reed. He did a great acting job, I gotta say. It wasn't that big. And there's another corner blitz coming for Love. It'll be a handoff to Josh Jacobs for the first time, who's swallowed up after a gain of only 1 or 2 on the play. So the Packers caught a break with that pass interference penalty there. Good job by Jaden Reed. I mean, in NBA, we would call that a flopping penalty. In common basketball terms, that would be a flopping penalty, by a lot. Very obvious. He barely touched him. That was like a flag football tackle, but, nasty. He's like, oh no, he's touched my bottom. I'm going to fall over dramatically. I mean, he barely did anything, but good job by Reed getting the penalty. And Alim McNeil was injured on the play, so the big D tackle for Detroit, so they lose another key member who's been huge and stuff in the run for Detroit this year. I mean, he bullied Cox. Whoever number 50, I think his name's Cox, is getting absolutely bullied. Second time we've seen him get beaten by this D-line. Lions looking to rush 5. Love under center. Got Jacobs in the backfield, 2nd and 9. And it'll be a screen pass to, I believe that's Dontavian Wicks. It is, in fact. That'll go for about 4 or 5, just about to midfield. 3rd and middle range, just over 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. It's third and quite a distance. 3rd and 6. Yeah, so it's more like 3rd and long. So if the Packers could hopefully catch another break here, we'll see if the Lions defense lets up. And those posters are waving again. I'm telling you, Ford Field is not a place you want to play after all of this that they've been through for so long. They do not want to have to go through this again. 3rd and 6, Reed in motion. Love drops back about 20 yards. He'll throw off his back foot towards Wicks. Incomplete. He almost had him. And so the Packers will be forced to punt it away. It was a good throw by Love off his back foot. I'm surprised he got that much range. If Wicks had picked up the speed a little, maybe he would have had a chance. But a valiant attempt from Green Bay, but the Lions will force a punt. I mean, wow, what a blitz by Detroit there, as you see Muhammad get the pressure and then a little bit of a late hit on Love at the end there. That could have been penalty worthy, but I mean, the number 95, I'm not sure who that is, gave him some nice little padding on his fall there. He let him land on him. So here comes the punt away from the Packers. So Jared Goff will come back onto the field. So Khalif Raymond will call fair catch at the 9-yard line, where the Lions will start their drive up. Binned back inside their own 10. Motor City has been alive. As you see there, the paintings come into life in Motor City as well. As the Lions are PI, anyone? Jaden Reed, you want to fall down again? Maybe they'll call it. that was funny. I feel like he just fell. Like that was one of them. Like what? I'm sure Lions fans all around the world were screaming at their TVs, and then afterwards they're like, "It's okay, nothing happened about it." But if the Lions lose this game, you realize they're going to be like, "Oh, the referees had it out from us from the beginning." Like they're going to bring that up if they lose the game. They're going to be like, they called PI on him falling down. They're going to constantly bring it up, just on a great basis. He fell down. How is that pass interference? I mean, I don't mind. Oh man, all right. So the Lions got off to a strong start to this one. They scored the touchdown with David Montgomery, a 3-yard run. Got 58 yards in that first drive, 6 of 8, while Jordan Love kind of struggled to get things rolling. Same for the run game. They only had 11 yards of offense that was actually their own. Meanwhile, the Lions, the Lions were much more efficient. Lions were definitely more efficient on their first opening drive than Green Bay was. A little bit of cause for concern for the Packers heading into this one. Definitely something to worry about, especially since that sack actually makes their total yards go down. So really, they only had 5. They only had about 5 yards, really. Things definitely not looking too hot for Green Bay. But it's just the first drive. Anything can happen in this time. So David Montgomery was the only one of the duo to take a carry on that first opening drive for Detroit. I'm guessing we're going to get to see a little bit more of Jahmyr Gibbs. So 76 yards on their opening drive. Now they have to go 91. The Lions, if they score here, Green Bay finds themselves in a bit of a hole. Stupid NBA Cup. It's so dumb. I refuse to watch the NBA Cup. I'm sorry. I refuse to watch the NBA Cup. Join me in my strike against the NBA Cup and its pointlessness. Oh, here, have a trophy. We bought it at Walmart. 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. So they have to go 92 yards. Goff will start under center. And as I said, it's Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield. They'll give it to Gibbs, who has to make a nice move to get away from a defender who was basically with him in the backfield. He'll get about 2 yards. 6.5 to go here in the first quarter. 2nd and 8 coming up for Detroit from their own 10-yard line. This would be a huge stop for Green Bay if they can get them to go 3 and out. If Jeff Hafley's defense get them to go 3 and out here, then they would get the ball back with reasonable field position. We'll see if they can manage against this high-octane Detroit Lions offense. Sam Laporta in motion off the left side. Packers adjusting, and it'll be a shovel towards Gibbs, who thought he had a hole, but he's just swallowed up for a gain of about 3. I thought he might have taken off for a second there. I was holding my breath. I'm like, oh, they missed the initial tackle. And then there was 4 guys on him in the second layer. So good job by the Green Bay defense stuffing him there. 3rd and 5. Jordan Love not looking thrilled about that opening drive. We'll see. They probably should score sooner or later if they're going to want to keep pace with this Detroit offense. 3rd and 5. Green Bay needs a stop. I know it's early in this one, but every stop counts, and this is a great opportunity. Jamison Williams in motion. Packers rush 4. One of them's a linebacker. Goff under pressure, and he is taken down. And the Packers defense comes up huge on that one. It's Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary makes a great job. They're just getting the pressure. It was a nice little disguised pressure there from one of the linebackers who comes in just a bit later, forces a bit of tackle motion, and Rashawn Gary slips through unnoticed. Goff taken down for the sack. So the Lions will be forced to punt deep in their own territory, giving the Packers back the ball in reasonable field positioning. This is a great opportunity for Green Bay to tie up this game. That was a huge sack from Rashawn Gary. Jack Fox punting out of his end zone. And he had all day to punt that one away. And it's a booming punt that'll get him to about the 48-yard line. So the Packers will pick up right where they left off on their last drive and about midfield. It was a good punt, but not good enough to pin them deep. So the Packers will take over there. So Lions notable defenders on injured reserve. Wow, that's a list. Aiden Hutchinson, Marcus Davenport, both of their defensive ends there, their edge rushers. Alex Anzalone, Malcolm Rodriguez, Derek Barnes, 3 of their greatest linebackers. At safety, they're missing Ifeatu Melanofanwu to a finger injury. Say that 5 times fast. And then the rookie Ennis Rakestraw as well is on injured reserve. So a couple of young guys on there who can really make a big difference. Alex Anzalone and Aiden Hutchinson, the big ones. Jordan Love will open in shotgun. Potential blitz coming from 3 different defenders in this one, maybe 4, as you see Campbell stepping up. They go all out. They rush 7, and Josh Jacobs somehow slips through for about a gain of 5 into Green Bay territory. We always have like that's just normal. I don't know. Didn't really see it against Miami personally. Well, I guess we kind of did. Didn't we score on the opening drive? I don't know. I hated that game. Alim McNeil is being evaluated for a concussion. He's questionable to return to this one. So that big defensive part of this run of stopping the run game, questionable to return to this one. 4:08 to go. Another blitz coming. It looks like they might be rushing 7 again. They do. Love will be forced to throw quickly, and he somehow delivers to Jaden Reed. They're saying it's a catch. He'll be about 1 yard shy of the first down marker. .355 to go here in the first quarter. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, Sonic and Knuckles. Oh, there was a penalty on the last play. I didn't see it. Oh, it's nothing. They're calling it an incomplete pass. It's 3rd and 5. Let's see it here. That is an incomplete pass. That's a good call by the referees there. He did, in fact, drop that. The Lions bench saw it, and then eventually the referees made the correct call. 3rd and 5. And so far, the blitz has been getting to Love. They're kind of bullying this Packers offensive line to go, and it looks like they might rush a huge amount again. As it looks like Love is going to call an audible, doesn't like the play call. And there's no one deep. If they run a deep route and Love has enough time, they rush 6. Love under pressure rolls to his left. He has to throw, and he throws it at the dirt. 4th and 5. The Packers will be punting it away yet again. So the Lions defense is finding a way to, if he had time, if that Packers O-line had stood for just a little longer, they could have gotten a receiver deep. There was no safety. Like, there was a non-existent safety back there. Like, there was 12 guys on the line, no one deep. They had man coverage on the edges. If they had gotten Jaden Reed, they're going for this. The Packers are going for it on 4th and 5. They say Dan Campbell's the aggressive one. We'll see. They might just be trying to draw him offside. Looks like Jordan Love might be calling another audible here. Jaden Reed in motion. We out Dan the Dan. And they're not going to get it off. The crowd noise gets to him too fast. And Detroit is on its feet here in the moment. Wow. Great job by the crowd getting the Packers off the field. So a delay of game. It looks like they were going to run it. That is hilarious. There's a Lions fan that's grating cheese. He just has a big block of cheese. I mean, what a good pass rush. Ooh, Love took a bit of a shot at the end there. Maybe the Lions are getting away with a few hits. That's the second kind of iffy hit we've seen so far on Jordan Love that may have been a little late. I thought I saw some smacking. I thought I saw some slapping. He flat out just like 4th and 10 after the delay of game penalty sends him off. Detroit Lions crowd is roaring. I mean, you probably can't hear anything there. So another punt. They'll try to pin him deep. And they'll have him at about the 10 or 11-yard line where Detroit will start their next drive. The Detroit Lions, Jared Goff's coming back out as the Packers have gotten nothing. Yeah, a bit of slapping there. Some minor slapping. 7-0. Detroit has the lead. 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. The Lions back on offense. Defense coming in clutch on both sides. This isn't good. This isn't really great for the Packers. They got the defensive stop they need. But this is kind of the thing we've seen a bit from teams like Miami, especially towards the middle of the year when Miami was losing Tua. Their defense played incredible football. They got so many stops. Their offense wasn't getting it done. When the offense stops being able to get it done, that's when the defense starts to struggle as well. Because, at some point it's kind of like, what are we playing for? What are we playing for? So the Packers are already down quite a bit in this division. They beat the Bears 20-19. Their divisional matchups have not been their victories. They've lost 2 divisional matchups so far in this season and potentially a third one today. They still have 2 more to go after this. So they might just be like, even if they're all tied at the end, the Packers might end up slipping to the worst spot in the NFC North between the 3 teams that are actually competing, not including Chicago. But yeah, it's definitely a big one against Minnesota towards the end to determine who gets the higher seed, most likely, because Green Bay, Seattle is going to be a good game. We might very well be in Seattle. Next week, we might be in Seattle. I haven't checked the other games. Okay, what? Can I just say, the fact that the Packers are playing 4 consecutive night games is absolutely insane to me. Like, they just get the Packers in the spotlight. I mean, they didn't play a single night game. They hadn't played a single night game until Thanksgiving, basically. Then they roll out against Miami. They win that one. They have this one against Detroit. Then they have Seattle on Sunday Night Football, and then New Orleans on Monday Night Football. So the Packers are hitting the night. They're saying, who needs to see the sun? It's probably too busy blizzarding anyway. Well, that's not true. They had a night game in Philadelphia, in Sao Paulo. That one was a good one. They lost that one. That was their only loss against a non-divisional opponent. So, yeah. The Packers haven't been doing great against the division. Their only win came by 1 point against Chicago. Williams in motion. Goff throws it, dumps it off to Williams. He'll get an easy 7 yards. A nice little push there from Williams to get a nice game. So, but I mean, the Packers could have a tough one against Seattle. Seattle's been playing really tough these last few weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if that one could be kind of tight. You may still get the Minnesota game pushed to primetime. That would be a good primetime game. Like, you guys could have, theoretically, 5 consecutive primetime games. Like, might as well just call them the primetime Packers. Jared Goff under center. Have Brock Wright in motion. And it's going to go play action to Gibbs. Gibbs was blown up at the line, and Goff will just have to throw it away. Yeah, they're just going to be the primetime Packers. Like, we don't play a game unless it's in prime time. Meanwhile, the Lions, I don't think the Lions really have much of a challenge other than Buffalo in the upcoming week. Yeah, they have Buffalo. Then they have Chicago, which should be an easy win against then they get to probably destroy a San Francisco team on a night game on Monday Night Football, which shouldn't be that exciting. Jahmyr Gibbs runs it up the middle. He might be just shy of the first down. We might have seen a big stop there from Green Bay. It looks like they're going to give him the lucky spot and give him the first down. We'll see what they call. You just really want Goff out of this game. I mean, great job by the Packers defense. I mean, the hit on Gibbs was crazy there by Kenny Clark. He sees the hole and he just says, "You're not getting this first down." He still ended up getting it there. So Laporta in motion. We see the red challenge flag. They're outdanning Dan. The Packers are actually outdanning Dan Campbell right now. First, they go for it on fourth down. And then, they didn't end up actually having to run it. But secondly, they're throwing the red challenge flag. They're saying, it's the first quarter. Save it. Dan Campbell's like, we don't start playing until the fourth quarter. But Matt LaFleur wants to get ahead of this one early. He wants to get this Lions team off the field. I'm not sure who wouldn't. Kenny Clark laid the boom on him there. Oh, and so did Walker. We are Dan. And wow, Matt LaFleur hitting him with a little bit of sass throwing that challenge flag. Like, pshaw, that was not a first down. Matt LaFleur has done a great job. So it turns out, so you know how we have those things where we do the whole which the legendary quarterback, the legendary one, or was it the head coach? Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. The answer, Tom Brady. Then we have Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers. The answer, Matt LaFleur. Get out of here. Like Devontae Adams? No, it was Matt LaFleur because they're doing the same thing with Jaden Reed and Jordan Love. I mean, all credit to Aaron Rodgers and what he put together in Green Bay, whatever. But I've liked to watch. This Packers team has seemed, because for a while there, it was always like, the Packers are in the playoffs and they're going to lose in the conference title game, as per usual. But now it's kind of like, who knows what could happen? Like, the Packers are going to make the playoffs, but they might end up going, they still have that surprising factor. Like, who knows? They're a good enough team to make the Super Bowl, to make some big upsets down the stretch in the playoffs. However, they might also be the kind of team that bows out in the wild card round. But aside from the point. So take a look at the Lions schedule. They have this one against Green Bay. If they pick up a win, they're on to 12-1. They don't actually have any pressure to beat Buffalo next week. It would be nice just to watch Buffalo lose. That one could be a big one there. So Buffalo fighting for the 1 seed. Buffalo's probably going to win that one just because they're going to be playing harder. They have more to play for. But then again, they're both fighting for that number 1 seed. So that one's it could be a Super Bowl preview as far as we know. And then they have Chicago and San Francisco. Both should be easy wins. So at worst case scenario, they're looking at 14-2. Worst case scenario, they're looking at 14-2 because I don't see how they lose to the Bears and the 49ers or the 49ers. And then they have Minnesota in a huge game that might decide stuff. It might decide stuff. We'll see what the ruling on the field after the Green Bay challenge was. Call on the field stands as called. So the Packers will lose their timeout and will lose one of their 2 challenges for the game. Still unhappy with their game. How high is LaFleur's ceiling? I have a list. I have a tier list of head coaches. The top 10 head coaches go in the A list. And so the things, 1 second. Jahmyr Gibbs will take it towards the right end. He'll get nowhere. 2nd and 10. So I have a tier list. So the S tier is the top 10 head coaches in the NFL. Up there is, I think, yeah. So Matt LaFleur is in there. There's also like Kevin O'Connell in there as well. Andy Reid. I think I also slid Mike McDaniel, John Harbaugh in there. The likes of them, you know. Then we have the A tier, which is kind of like the likes of Sean McVay, Nick Sirianni, Kyle Shanahan, Jim Harbaugh. We don't have a lot of proof that they can do great things. Like, obviously, Kyle Shanahan's a great coach. Jahmyr Gibbs makes a nice little cut and a nice little broken tackle to get about 5 yards, 3rd and 5. So I have LaFleur at the top of my list just because of what he did in Green Bay in such a short amount of time. Like, he took them from a team that was on the verge of collapse when Aaron Rodgers left and made them great again. That's one of the greatest things you can do as a head coach. That's why Mike McDaniel's also up there as well, because he took a Dolphins team that was on the verge of collapse and he made them into a playoff team. He made Tua from the 32nd ranked quarterback to 4th as far as accuracy goes. Mike McDaniel's did a great job. Kevin O'Connell single-handedly became one of the top coaches in the league. Oh, and Jahmyr Gibbs is swallowed by Wooden in the backfield. Oh my goodness. And he was just home free as they handed it off to Jahmyr Gibbs, thinking that maybe he could make some magic to get 5 yards, and Wooden just slides through and nails Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think I've seen a defender just kind of like slip past an lineman like that. Just get off me. And then, wow. I mean, if Jahmyr Gibbs had broken that tackle, that would have been highlight reel of the day. Bad snap from Fox's long snapper there, but it's a good punt. There's a flag, and it's going to be fair caught at about the 27-yard line for Jaden Reed. 35 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We'll see what the flag is. But Kevin O'Connell, what he did is fantastic. You have to, like, even as a Packers fan or as a Lions fan, you got to give Coach O'Connell credit for all the great work he's done in Minnesota. I consider him one of the, top 3 coach in the league just for what he did with Sam Darnold. Just the fact that he's taken Sam Darnold, this guy who averaged 30 interceptions a year with New York, and turned him into the quarterback he is now. It's going to be holding on Green Bay, which will push him back a bit to start their next drive. The Lions lead 7-0. 35 seconds to go here in the first quarter. It's been largely a more defensive battle. The Packers defender is called on. It's like, what? I didn't do that. It's Rochelle. Hello. So the Lions have been the better team so far. The Packers just have not gotten anything going, but it's been mostly a defensive battle. Hoping to see a bit of an offensive second quarter coming up after about 1 or 2 plays of the Packers before the end of the first quarter. We were just talking about, Kevin, about the top 10 coaches in the league. And really the thing that makes me respect the coach the most is the kind of thing and how they can turn things around. They're someone that might be rising on the list could be Dave Canales and what he's done in Carolina, because just making Bryce Young competent is quite the task. And it'll be a handoff to Josh Jacobs after a little bit of trickery. He'll go for about 7 or 8. Good run there by Josh Jacobs. This will most likely wind out the first half, unless they want to try and draw the Lions offside. They might just line up for fun. For funsies. They have 10 seconds. They're just going to take it to the end. So at the end of the first quarter, the Lions have the lead 7-0. They're lining up. So I'm going to hold off on that now. They ran out of time. So the Lions lead 7-0 going into the second quarter. Packers have the ball at their own 24-yard line. 2nd and 3 coming up. Packers in need of a huge offensive surge. The Lions, that's cool, are in full domination here in the Motor City. And the defense has really been the star of the show so far. We've seen great things from the likes of, what's his name? One of the line, Jack Campbell, has done a great job so far in this one. I've seen him make some plays early on in this one. He's done a great job keeping Josh Jacobs at bay until that one run, which featured a little bit of trickeration. Zadarius Smith's had a big first quarter there. He had a big sack earlier in the game, which kept the Packers down early. We've seen some good stuff all around. We saw some good rush by Al-Quadin Muhammad. I mean, so far, it hasn't even been the big flashy players on this Lions team. It's come down more to, the ones that we've seen make mistakes so far have been like Brian Branch. Made a mistake earlier in this one. Alim McNeil got injured, which is kind of bad. We haven't seen any huge names pop up, but we've seen some middle tier players that are really making a mark on the Packers early in this one. So the Lions are doing a great job on defense. Well, the Packers, they got off the field twice. Jeff Hafley's not doing a half bad job of keeping the Lions offense a bit at bay. But you definitely need to see some offense. Otherwise, eventually that Packers defense is going to fail. So let's see. I'm going to see if I can. I made the list. I don't have it with me at the moment. But let me see if I can find the top 10 coaches that I have. So I have my top 10 coaches. So I have Mike McDaniel on that list for the work that he did with Tua Tagovailoa. Obviously, he's done a fantastic job. So at the beginning of the year, I had DeMeco Ryans. but I'm starting to consider dumping him down because he hasn't done too great this year. The CJ Stroud sophomore slump. I did have Andy Reid in there, so that's 2. John Harbaugh. 3. I have Kevin O'Connell, Matt LaFleur. They've both done fantastic jobs. With their entire organization, they've done absolutely fantastic. I also have Dan Campbell up there as well. I'm gonna say D'Amico Ryans at 7. Did I already say John Harbaugh? I can't remember, but I do have Mike Tomlin as 8 there. And then I also have a good amount of respect for Todd Bowles. Very suddenly, he kind of slipped up there. He's done a good job. He's got a lot to be proud of. And then I think like sliding into that 10th spot right now, because like there's a lot of middle line coaches. I think that slipping into that 10th spot is probably Mike McDonald, because that Seattle defense was looking rough last year, and they've kind of emerged a bit. Big blitz coming for Love. He'll dump one off to Christian Watson, who's got a nice gain, and he fumbles. Oh no! And the Lions recover it, ending the Packers' drive on the first play. Was he down? Oh, they better hope he's down. This could be awful. The Lions are already celebrating that this is... And he's up. He's not down. That's a fumble. And the Lions recover it. We'll get one more look at it. Nope, he's not down. The Detroit Lions will take over off of the Christian Watson fumble. The blitz came. It was actually a beautiful play. Everything worked down to the wire, and then Christian Watson fumbles in midair. Oh, that's a tough way to end the drive. Goff will throw on first down. He'll get Sam Laporta. What a throw in between 3 defenders. Jared Goff doesn't care. He's like, oh, he's triple covered. I'll nail him right in between the numbers. If he drops it, that's his fault. Jared Goff's been fantastic. He's put it right in between the numbers on every throw he's made so far. The Packers only have 1 first down, and it came off of a penalty. The Lions have 7. 1st and 10 from the 45. This Lions offense suddenly breathed life into after the Christian Watson fumble. Goff under center. Williams in motion. Handoff goes to Montgomery. David Montgomery will go for about 5 on the play. Good run. Again, those yards after contact. And there's a flag. That'll be unnecessary roughness on Green Bay. They can't do that. And that's the kind of stuff that loses you a football game. Matt LaFleur has to give him a talking to for that one. That is unacceptable. That's going to be unnecessary roughness. After play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness defense. I think I was number 7. Don't know for certain. I think it was number 7. So Skipper was doing a great job blocking him. Yeah. And I'm surprised he could do that. That's crazy arm power there. Pushing over Dan Skipper like that. But the Packers are not playing as clean as they need to be. That is not a good sign if you're Green Bay. You do not like that at all. So they just gave him a free 15 yards, and they're at the 25-yard line. I formation, Goff under center. See the fullback in motion, it's Laporta. And Goff under pressure, he launches one up, and he overthrows Laporta by half a mile. The impressive strength should outweigh the penalty. I mean, I kind of agree because Dan Skipper is not a small man. If you see Dan Skipper in the wild, you see Dan Skipper in downtown Detroit, and he's asking you to give him something for free, you're gonna give him something for free. You think you could give me this? And he's like, you think you could give me this for free? Lions discount. You're like, yeah, sure, buddy. Whatever you want. Like, you're not gonna tell him no. Jamison Williams in motion. The handoff goes to Jahmyr Gibbs. He'll be stuffed for a loss of a good amount, but I think they're going to stop his forward progress after a loss of about 1. 3rd down. 13:30 to go here in the second quarter. Christian Watson setting up this Lions drive here. We see a Packers player jogging over to the sideline. That's Van Ness. Blanking on what his first name. I think it's Luke Van Ness. So Packers linebacker, he's been good this year. I don't know. That's going to hurt him. Every member counts. Goff looks to throw, and it's a bad throw to Williams. Going complete 4th and 10. So the Packers defense does hold strong. So out comes the winner of the clutch kick award, Jake Bates. I mean, he has had some pretty clutch kicks. He's 6-6 on game tying kicks this year. He's got a 95 percentage as long as 58, 19 of 20. It's his first season. So the young guy. We'll see how it goes from Jake Bates. But it should be a chip shot for him, 43 yards. It wasn't a chip shot, but he got it. 10-0. The Lions have the lead. 13 minutes to go here in the first half. The Christian Watson fumble. He needed to hold on to that one. Oh, of course it was David Long. You know, why not? The guy that the Dolphins cut had to recover the fumble. I didn't even notice that. Like, sure. It's going to be David Long just because I'm watching. Like, I can't stand the fact that players will be absolute trash on the Dolphins. They'll move to another team, and they'll be the best players you've ever seen. The only exception so far has been Christian Wilkins, which, I mean, I'm glad he's doing awful. I mean, I'm not glad that he got hurt, but I would rather him have done great on the Dolphins than great on the Raiders. So he's been like the one exception. For the stuff that's happened, 10-0 ain't that bad. Agreed. No, I know. And it seems to, I feel like the Dolphins and the Giants have the worst luck. I said the Giants because they're like Xavier McKinney. It's like, fine, we're going to trade this guy away. Xavier McKinney this year, I have 8 interceptions. That's more than your defense has turnovers. Like, just the rubbing that in every time the Packers play is like, he's got more than you have in anything. And you had him, and he was so bad. Like, he was good, but he wasn't, like, great. Then he comes to Green Bay. He's got 8 interceptions. He might have more now. And the Giants still have less turnovers. He's done great. But the Dolphins, David Long, he was bad. He made some impact plays, but for the most part, he was just there. And like, what is this? His first game as a Lion? He's already recovered a fumble? Preposterous. So it hasn't been the offensive shootout we've all been expecting. So if you're willing to listen, I might change my pick away from 34-31 to something more along the lines of 21-10. I don't 24-10. I'm not sure. The Packers, I'm going to need to see a bit more from the Packers. The Walter Payton Man of the Year nominations, recognizing excellence on and off the field. This is a very important award. These quarterbacks, these players have done great work off the field, and they use their influence on the field to make a difference in the outside world. The Packers nominee Kenny Clark is one of the star defensive tackles, and the Lions quarterback Jared Goff is coming in there for the Detroit Lions. The Man of the Year, very prestigious award that I feel like may or may not be favored in quarterbacks' general direction. Allow it, and only if I don't have a green shirt. I have one green shirt, but I think I've already worn it this week. I need to wash clothes. Thanks for reminding me. I think this is all I have. I have another shirt that's out here, but it's navy blue. That's still blue. They're showing what Jared Goff's work has done. And, oh, man, they're going so fast. So Kenny Clark has been spending time. Man, the slideshow is so fast. They've both been doing very important. No, I don't have a yellow shirt. They've both done very important work in their community. Jared Goff working with it seems like Kenny Clark worked more with the kids in the general area, and Jared Goff has worked just in the general And I think they've both done fantastic jobs. Everyone that's been nominated for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award is the most prestigious award in the NFL. This Detroit Lions defense started off to a strong start with Darius Smith flat out passing Cox at the beginning of the game. Then we saw it again earlier when there's just Muhammad just goes through Walker to get a nice little hit there. Then they get another strong hit there. I mean, they've just been cutting through this Packers offensive line. I don't have a blue shirt. I only have blue. I have a navy blue. I have this blue, and I think I might have red, but that doesn't do anyone any good. So Josh Jacobs has a hole, 15 yards. He'll get to about midfield, 20-yard. Piece of yellow construction. It's getting all these. I can check at halftime. I don't know. I might. I can check at halftime. I don't know. I don't know where the construction pick. I know we have some, but I don't know if it's yellow or green. That was just a nice run by Josh Jacobs. As you see him finding the holes there. Detroit thought they had him blown up. Brian Branch thought he had him. Great job finding a nice hole there by Josh Jacobs. Getting across midfield. Hopefully getting something going for this Packers offense. And it'll be a run this time to Emmanuel Wilson, who tries to keep on running, gets about 5 or 6 on the play. Emmanuel Wilson had his welcome to the NFL moment in the best fashion, where he ran for that huge touchdown last year and immediately put himself on the map. Love Jacobs, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, the guy who's doing so well in Minnesota. No, yeah, I think Josh Jacobs is the better running back. I'm happy for Josh Jacobs because he's kind of had the same thing as Saquon Barkley, where I'm like, they're such good players, but their potential was so wasted at their teams that they were at. They were the only good players. Now they've been moved to actual winning philosophies and winning teams, and they're doing a really great job. And it's a handoff to number 20. I don't know who that is. Oh, and they get the first down on an extra push there by the O-lineman. Green Bay somehow manages to get the first. Josh Jacobs is heating up the cold through week 13. He's got 987 rush yards, third in the NFL. He's been heating things up here in chilly Lambeau. Since 1970, only 2 Packers have finished top 3 in rushing. That's John Brockington and Amon Green. So not very popular names, but Josh Jacobs has already made a name for himself in Las Vegas. Oh, and there's pre-snap motion like nobody's business. Looks like it's going to be against Detroit. We'll see what John Hussey calls. It's gonna go on a O'Connor. It's gonna be encroachment. I love encroachment. There was a weird penalty a few days ago on Sunday. There was a what, the Eagles and the Packers? I mean, yeah. Saquon Barkley moved to Philadelphia, who's now contending for a number 1 spot, and Green Bay is basically in the playoffs. They've been very likely the best wild card team, right up there with Minnesota. Another handoff to Josh Jacobs, get about 1, brings up 2nd and 4. But Las Vegas and New York and the Giants, they had no chance of being great there. So I'm really happy that they've kind of turned the page on their careers and moved on to a winning team, a winning mindset as well. Because they had always had that mindset where it's like, we're going to lose this game. I play for the Giants. We're going to lose every game. Now he moved to Philadelphia. Now it's like, okay, I'm going to backwards hurdle some people. You're not feeling the Eagles as a good team? The number 2 seed currently? And Josh Jacobs has a nice little hole, gets about 7 yards and a first down. 1st and 10, 9:10 to go before halftime. The Eagles had you forget that the Eagles are one of the teams that have won the Super Bowl in the past decade. Wait, yeah. I'm like, wait, how old am I? Hold on. Yeah. There's an injured Packer. It's Ryan, one of the O-linemen, appears to be moving his neck. Not sure what happened there. We'll see. It's the right guard. He shifted over. Oh, it looks like he might have taken a shot to the shoulder there. Tough hit there. So they have a backup lineman in, which which as it is, their line wasn't doing too well. With a backup, they might have a bit of issues. Jaden Reed in motion out of the backfield. Go handoff towards Josh Jacobs. Get about 1 yard there. They're the wannabe Ravens. They beat the Ravens. Are they just the Ravens now? So you think the Ravens are a legitimate team, but not the Eagles? Or do you think they're like at the same level? That would be a crazy Super Bowl. Ravens, Eagles. I would love to watch that. The chances are extremely slim, but holding on Green Bay. Is it on the guy that just came in the game? No, it's on Jenkins, the veteran Jenkins. Those are the kind of stuff. I mean, it makes sense if it's the rookie, but if it's a veteran like that, that is not acceptable. You have no place to stand. No, the Eagles have been really impressive. I watched the game against Baltimore on Sunday, and it was just, they cruised. Like, Baltimore wasn't in that game until the fourth quarter. Like, Philadelphia made it look easy, which kind of made me think, oh, okay, they're actually, like, I've seen a few Philly games that I haven't seen them play like that, where their defense stifled one of the highest ranked Baltimore offenses. Tucker Kraft gets a nice little shot towards the right side to bring up second down and good distance because of the holding penalty. But like, I didn't realize the level. Oh, there's another injured Packer. It's Williams heading to the locker room. So the Packers are dropping like flies right now. So that appears to be a defensive player. I'm not sure. I think that's the safety, Williams. We heard his name earlier when he was on the pass interference. Well, I thought he was, but it turned out to be Nixon. They're at the 27-yard line, 2nd and 12. Jaden Reed in motion. Love under center. Play action. Love steps up. He runs in the pocket. He'll get the first down. He said, I can do a little bit of it myself. He'll get on the Packers to about the 12-yard line. Good run by Jordan Love, showing that he's a bit more of a dual-threat quarterback than we thought. Good read there. I mean, you see the hole open up. Then Love says, I'm just going to take it myself. Good block there. But number 80, not quite sure who that is. But the pressure's coming to him, steps up, sees a hole, good run. See them being around for the night. The thing is Derrick Henry around for 5 years? Because Derrick Henry is old. He might retire before then. Lamar Jackson is definitely. But they'll slowly get more and more talent, but it's how long Derrick Henry lasts. And then they'll have to get another running back. Handoff, Josh Jacobs, going nowhere. Good stop at the Lions D-line. There is a flag. Because I could see struggling to have a winning season even next year. But they'll still have Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley next year. I think they should still have A.J. Brown as well. They still have the entire offense. I mean, some of their offensive line is going to retire probably because they're all very old, but not quite sure if that would affect anything. Legal hands in the face on the defense. So that'll put the Packers in even better shape to keep on going, to keep this drive alive and potentially score. So it's on Zadarius Smith. We'll see it here. Okay, yeah. It was not a face mask, but not the referee. Not a face mask penalty. I'll take off the headphones so you can see. This is not the face mask. This is a collar. You might be able to call like a holding, but that's not a face mask. That's not 15 yards. That would be 5. So I think that's the wrong call there. That he did not actually have the face mask part. Josh Jacobs, a nice little run, gets him down to the 2-yard line. Come on, punch it in, Jacobs. For the fantasy teams. It wasn't really a face mask penalty. A little bit of a scuffle between two players there. Referees quick to break it up. Just a little bit of jawing, I would say. So Josh Jacobs, nice little slip there. Hey, hand it off again. One more time. Cash in with Jacobs. Fantasy. For fantasy. Play selection this drive for Green Bay has been 9 rushes, 1 pass. Hey, when one thing doesn't work, you stick to the other. 2nd and goal. And they've knocked off so much time off this clock. 2nd and goal. Love will hand it off. Oh, he'll take the pass, and that was an awful throw. Excuse me? You know what? I see my receiver down there, but I think I see a guy in the crowd that looks much more appealing. What? He had the touchdown. That was a beautiful play design, but he's like, I'm going to launch it to the referee. I could have made that throw. That was an awful throw by Jordan Love. 3rd down and goal for Green Bay after that horrendous throw by Jordan Love that could have ended in a touchdown. He's going to want that one back. And Love looks towards the left, under pressure. He'll throw in a hurry, heavy pass interference. Oh, there was an interception somehow, but it's going to come back because of the pass interference. But he did. I didn't see that it ended in an interception. All I saw was just a guy basically like, here, you want some hugs? Like he was all over him. That wasn't even close to being an incompletion. Like that would have been a touchdown, but he was smothering him. Dan Campbell, what's wrong with that? That's just football. Yeah, no. Yeah, he did it. Yeah, he did it. He did it. Dan Campbell, what's wrong with that? He did it. Pass interference, defense number 0. I think I called it. I mean, impressive interception. I'll give him that. Impressive. Awful defense. I mean, the Lions defense is the most penalized for pass interference in the NFL 17 times, and they've already been penalized twice tonight. I mean, it's like, hey, we got this. Like, what? What are you talking about? That was just football. Just football. What? Yeah. Hand off, Josh Jacobs. Touchdown, Green Bay, and the Cheeseheads are back in the game. And Josh Jacobs owned this drive. And they got a little bonus from Terrion Arnold deciding to snuggle up close with Christian Watson in the back of the end zone. So the Packers will cash in here. And with the extra point, it'll make it a field goals game. The Lions lead by 3, 5:35 to go until the half. The Packers have brought themselves back into this one. I mean, might as well just call him the Green Bay Josh Jacobs after that drive. Absolutely no Jordan Love in that one. All we saw was him miss 2 throws. I didn't do it. And handoff, and Brandon McManus cutting it close there, but he makes the extra point. 10-7. The Lions hold the lead. The Packers, all Josh Jacobs. The Green Bay Josh Jacobs doing it themselves. JJ Watt. And the Green Bay Packers, I don't even know why they have Jaden Reed and Jordan Love on the pedestal with him. Just leave Josh Jacobs on there with the Packers logo. It is all the Packers running game in this one so far. I mean, Matt LaFleur is one of those coaches that says, if you're not doing your job, I'm not going to give you the ball. He's very straightforward like that. I've always appreciated that. He's like, Jordan, you see that guy over there? You were supposed to throw a pass to him, not to the cameraman. You missed him, so we're going to run the ball. Like, it was just I'm not going to forget that one. That was an awful throw. I mean, he had the touchdown. I was ready for my touchdown call, and it was like, he just totally, like, I don't know what happened. It was a perfect angle. He just had to sidearm it in. Like, Mahomes would have made that. Lamar Jackson would have made that, but that was an awful throw. Was like something wrong with his arm? Yeah, no pressure. But I mean, that's just the kind of coach LaFleur is. If you make a mistake, he's going to take you out of the game. He's going to make you do 10 push-ups. And then if he thinks you've earned his respect back, then he's going to put you back in the game. So until he's going to give Jordan Love one chance to throw a 20-yard pass. And if it's like an awful throw again or it ends in an interception, he's not touching the ball again. Like Jordan Love, like Christian Watson, I can tell you right now, I highly doubt Christian Watson is going to be a number 1 read at any point during this game. Like, it was obvious that Love went through all of his progressions before he went to the Christian Watson pass interference. Like, he looked to Reed first. You could tell he was looking for Tucker Kraft. Then he looked to Jaden Reed. Then he looks for Dontavian Wicks. And then he's like, fine, I'll throw to the guy who fumbled. Like, he's never going to be the first option for the rest of the game because he fumbled until he proves himself that he can hold on to the ball. He's not going to get the ball again. That's the kind of offense Matt LaFleur runs. Not the kind Mike McDaniel runs. The kind that Mike McDaniel runs is if you make a mistake, I'm going to keep on giving you the ball so you can keep making the same mistake. Because, yeah. Tough love. Jared Goff's revival. In the 2022 season, the Lions started 1-6. It's like he squeezed so hard, and then the actual answer is to release. Everyone wanted to fire Dan and bench me. It's ironic that when you try to do less, more happens. Jared Goff. It's a good quote. Since 2022, week 7, entering tonight, 31-8, 70 touchdowns. Tied the most in the NFL. Hey, give him one more. Give him one more. Make him first. He deserves it. Really, the turnaround's been phenomenal. I mean, of course, they had their narrow Super Bowl victory when he was in LA. Just give him one. Just give him one. He had that narrow Super Bowl victory when he was in LA. They shipped him off to Detroit just a few seasons later. And then the Rams finally won their Super Bowl. They thought Detroit was reeling after that trade, after the unsuccess that had befallen them after that. And they've kind of stepped it up since then. Now the Lions are looking at a legitimate shot at being a Super Bowl contender this year. Look who it is. It's Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit. You know what I'm going to say. Mute them. Turn up your volume over here. You can watch the game. Just listen to me instead. Because, all respect to Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels. They're some of the greatest in the commentary business. Especially Al Michaels, one of the best of all time. Hand off to David Montgomery. Montgomery will go for about 5 yards. Makes a nice cut. Actually gets about 9. So a nice little turn upfield there. So yeah, but if you're watching them, mute them. Come on over here. Turn my sound up. I feel like my chair's breaking. I'm hearing noises. I'll have to check that out. Uh-oh. Time for a turnover. As soon as Jared Goff throws the ball, I'll let you know. Because David Montgomery doesn't fumble that often. Neither does Jahmyr Gibbs. Amon-Ra St. Brown in motion. Goff looks to his right. He's actually throwing, and he throws a bullet to Jameson Williams, and they're already driving into Packers territory. What a dart from Jared Goff. I mean, that was soft zone by Green Bay. They played zone coverage there, and he drills it in between 5 zones. That's fantastic. Great job by Jared Goff there. Goff 6 yards away from the 100-yard marker. It's a dump off to Montgomery, and he'll get those yards. And that'll get him to about 100 yards, 2nd and 5. He might be 1 yard shy. So the Lions starting to roll again after the Green Bay touchdown. Can't let them get too far ahead here if you're Green Bay.
Their athletic trainer and has a very strong tape job on top of his right glove. He has not returned to the game yet. And safety Evan Williams is being evaluated for a concussion.
So Evan Williams is being evaluated for concussion, and Luke Van Ness has a knee injury. He's questionable to return. He's got heavy tape. He has not returned yet. Jared Goff. Whoa. What? That's an incomplete pass heading towards Jameson Williams. But there was a Packer that was basically on the Lions' side. How did they not see that? What? If they have to show that again. He was so far behind the... What? Okay. You know what? I'm not. Okay. I mean, he was like right up. Did you see it? He was like right off the line. Like the imaginary white line. He was 2 yards past it. Jared Goff under heavy pressure. He throws upfield. He gets it to David Montgomery and a first down, a gain of 6 to the 31 of Green Bay. Like, I'm pretty sure Jared Goff saw the same thing, thought it was a free play. Because that should have been, that was very, I mean, he was like right up against the receiver. Like, what? I'm pretty sure it's not legal for you to be even with the quarterback. He jumped back at just before the snap, but I thought, I feel like that's a penalty. Packers get away with one there. I'm like, what is he doing? That was the first thing I see. I look down the line and I just see one guy 2 yards towards the Lions. Jared Goff actually rolls out of the pocket to the right. He delivers to Sam Laporta inside the red zone to the 17-yard line, and the Detroit first down, gain of 13 on the play. Pile's still moving somehow. Penei Sewell getting into it with some Packers. Dan Skipper trying to calm the tempers and trying to save Amon-Ra St. Brown, who got carried away with a few Packers players there. The refs are being lenient today. They're letting the teams compete. Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Lions, one of the most sought-after coordinators to become a head coach this upcoming year. Perhaps on the opposing sideline of Chicago last week could have been his new destination, his new job. Can you stop? They do have to run a play here. One handoff will go to Gibbs, who will cut to the left end. He'll get about 3-4 yards, and he'll be pushed back, but forward progress will give him about 3. This will bring us to the 2-minute warning. 1:53 to go till halftime. The Lions driving deep into Packers territory, up by 3. 10-7, Detroit. I mean, it hasn't been the highest score in first half, but I feel like the second half things are going to turn the other way, because as the defenses start to get a little more tired, we're going to start to see quite a bit more of the offense turn up, because I feel like the offense are going to get a little more motivated. The defenses are going to step up just a tad more, and we'll get to see a little bit more of the offense in the second half, hopefully, because Jordan Love's numbers have been absolute, awful. 3 of 7 for 31 yards in a first half. Josh Jacobs has outgained Jordan Love. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, it's not looking good for Green Bay. Jameson Williams has outgained Jordan Love. Let's see how many. Let's count the amount of people that have more yards than Jordan Love in this game. Got 1. Let's see. Let's get the Lions out of here. So we got 1 on the Packers, Josh Jacobs. The entire running. So Sonic and Knuckles outgain him. Jared Goff outgains him. Jameson Williams outgains him. And Sam Laporta is just under. If you combine Sam Laporta and Sonic and Knuckles, then you pass them, or even just Amon-Ra St. Brown. Because Jordan Love, 31 yards passing. That is an atrocious game, at least to start, that they're going to need Jordan Love to really step up his game in the second half. Or even in the last drive, they might have a chance at one final drive. They're showing the Josh Allen lateral thing. Are you kidding me? That was a good call of mine. I didn't even realize how it was. You can check out the VOD down there. It was like, oh, are you serious? What are they? Wow, what? Are you kidding me? Why would they do? The Bills just pouring salt into a wound with that. I mean, that's crazy. From programmer to play caller, Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was the junior programmer for the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He's assistant coaching jobs in Boston College. He was with Miami for 6 years? Huh. And then he's here in Detroit. His 3rd season as the offensive coordinator, 28.2 points per game, most in the NFL since 2022. I did not know he was with Miami. And I guess it makes sense. Campbell was Miami's coach very briefly. But I think the timing is off. I don't know. Because that's Adam Gase time. 2012 to 2018. That's Philbin Gase, I think. 2nd and 7. Jared Goff starting in shotgun. He'll throw a screen to Laporta. The big tight end, Sam Laporta, gets a nice run inside the 5. They're at the 3-yard line. Okay. Chill. Detroit needs to calm down. Just run the ball. Run the ball. Don't get in. Just tick off the clock if you're Detroit. I'm giving them advice. I'm sorry. But, that was a big play. You did not need to go that fast, because you're giving Green Bay a chance to get the ball back, and then they have a chance to double up on you at halftime. Even if they get a field goal, they can score a touchdown, make it 17-17 by the time the Lions get the ball back. Yeah, Lions definitely want to, ease into it. Brock Wright in motion. Hand off to Montgomery. Montgomery is going to push ahead. He'll be a yard shy. LaFleur should call timeout here. See if he does. The clock stopped, so I assume he did. He did. I am Matt LaFleur, guys. I am Matt LaFleur. I called that. So with 1 minute to go, the Packers have called their second timeout. 1 timeout to go, 2nd and goal. So they're expecting a Lions score here. Yeah, there's no halftime show. At halftime, I'm going to leave for a few minutes, make myself a drink, and then I'll be straight back for the second half. Kyle is Matt, I'm done. Because you just want to go for it. 4th and 37, hold my beer. 2nd and goal. Jared Goff under center. Packers showing the goal line defense. And Goff will sneak it. Ooh, he was short. He ended up over the goal line, but he looked short off the initial. From my look. Packers are saying they scored. Well, all right then. Touchdown Lions. Ben Johnson doesn't seem totally certain. But they're calling Matt LaFleur saying no. It's going to be 3rd down, yeah. I was going to say, I'm like, are you sure? We'll see where his knee was down right there. Yeah, he's short. Just short of the goal. But another quarterback sneak should do it. Although, honestly, I'm not sure why LaFleur is arguing. It's like, whatever. It's like, now I have to use my last time out. The Packers do get him down about an inch shy. So 3rd and goal. I understand not wanting to give up the points, but when you're an inch away from the goal, you basically have to fall forward and you've scored. Like, the center could just, move the ball a little and it's a touchdown. I mean, he's probably just like, we're just going to do the same thing. Just sneak it. I mean, if they can get a stop, huge. I don't believe they can because they're at the inch-yard line. You know what would be crazy if they threw the ball here? It's such a Dan Campbell thing to do. The play-action rollout. Catch everyone by surprise. Yeah, they're this much away from the end zone. I mean, it's such a Dan Campbell thing to do, to just laugh in their face. Flea flicker. Just here you go. Sam Laporta. Watch. If it's not a sneak and it's not a run, it's going to Laporta. He's the man in the red zone. He could catch 2 passes a game, and they'll be for 5 yards, but they're 2 touchdowns. Because that's when they use him, the play action rollout inside the 10. And he's good at it. Just the red zone in general. Jamison Williams is the deep threat. Amon-Ra, you could just throw to him wherever. Just take the ball. And it's looking like Montgomery's way too far back. And they've handed it off to Montgomery. He's not going to get there. I told you he was too far back. He was about 5 yards off the ball. And that'll bring up 4th down. Is he going for it? I think he's going for it. It's Dan Campbell time. So Dan Campbell doing what Dan Campbell does best. I think they're going for it on 4th down from the 2. Great job of the Packers stuffing it. Not entirely. It took 10 guys to take David Montgomery down. Just saying. But, yeah, I think this is probably the right decision. Clock is winding down, so the Packers won't get a chance on offense. Which means it could be pretty bad if the Lions allow to score here. The Lions don't have any timeouts. Do they? Am I blind? I am blind. The Lions have all 3 timeouts. They're going to call 1 timeout, 14 seconds to go. They're going to make it so the Packers have absolutely 0 time. Funny thing is that if the Lions get 1 yard, then the Packers can't take a knee. It's like if the Lions only get 1 of the 2 yards, the Packers can't take a knee, and it's just going to be hilarious. It's like, oh, we have to do the weird quarterback sneak thing. Ugh. because that would result in a safety. If you're at the 1 yard line, you take a knee backwards, you lose a yard. So that would be a safety. So they would have to probably run a quarterback sneak. 4th and goal. It's Brock Wright in motion. Goff looks to his right. He's got Jahmyr Gibbs. Touchdown, Sonic. And the Detroit Lions are up 16-7, pending an extra point. So not only will the Lions score, but the Packers won't get a chance at the ball before halftime. With an extra point from Jake Bates, this game's 17-7, and all the Packers can do is score as soon as they come out of the gates. And a bold decision from Dan Campbell paying off. It's just Dan doing Dan things. The extra point from Jake Bates is good. 17-7, 11 seconds to go till the half. The Lions cruising. Is Dan Campbell saying, I think I'm going to be bold. And who knows, if the Lions win, he might treat him to Applebee's. Yeah, that was a good route. That was a nice little play there by Jahmyr Gibbs. Good route running, pretending to run an outside and then just a nice cut against McDuffie and had him beat. So Jahmyr Gibbs, so both Sonic and Knuckles have cashed in. What's up with this? I'm liking the way this is going for me, at least. Not for you. Sorry, Pepper. But I like what it's playing along with the theme real nicely. It's game night. It's game night. It's video game night. We're going back to the 90s. So 11 seconds to go. Basically just going to be a kneel down. Unless the Packers are going to do some nonsense. Offense this quarter, the Packers have actually outgained the Lions on offense this quarter, but Detroit made it count so much more. Hail Mary. They would need an amazing return to be in Hail Mary range. Oh, wait. Here's your kick return. This is your chance. And Jake Bates launches that to the back of the end zone. Jake Bates just sends that one soaring out. Not even a chance to return it. So, one play, maybe three. Matt LaFleur's taking a knee. He's got his headset off. Yeah, I saw this coming. So we'll be going into halftime, 17-7. The Packers will receive the second half kickoff. Mind games. The Packers will receive the second half kickoff as they will head into the locker room down by 10. Chance to make it 3. Headset trickery. Hail Mary. All right, thank you guys for watching the first half. Stick around for the second half. I'll be back in just a few moments once I get my drink, and then we'll be back set for the second half kickoff. Thank you guys. See you in the second half. Detroit leads by 10. I'm speedrunning mixology at this point. I'm so good at making drinks, especially when it's just flavored water. So speedy. I'm getting faster and faster each and every time. So it has been quite the first half. Josh Jacobs and David Montgomery have been the two main guys for these teams. Jared Goff's had himself a fantastic first half. Sorry about that, Pepper. Jordan Love has had an absolutely awful first half. Jared Goff, 118 yards. No touchdowns yet, but those 118 yards really are something there. That's wrong. That's wrong. He does have a touchdown. Incorrect. My stats have not updated. 131 yards, 1 touchdown for Jared Goff. 14 of 20. He's been near perfect. Green Bay, however, Jordan Love, 3 of 7 for 31 yards. Yeah, not great. The only hope they've had so far has been to get the run game going, which has capped them over 100 yards on the day, 104 yards total for Green Bay, but they are being heavily, and I mean heavily, outgained by Detroit in this first half. They have exactly 70 more yards. Isn't that fun? Lions have exactly an entire field, basically, on Green Bay, an entire drive. The Packers' first downs have been so many more. They've each had 5 drives, but the first downs have come much easier for the Lions than they have the Packers. Lions have 11 first downs, not including penalties. Then they have 13. The Packers have 5 first downs, not including penalties. Then they have 8. So things are definitely going a lot smoother for the Lions as far as offensive efficiency is going. Total plays, the Lions have extended their drives far longer with a total of 15 more plays than that. I'm doing quick math. Isn't this impressive? They both have an average of 4.7 yards per play, so I'm not sure why the Lions are having so much more luck. It has something to do with the passing game, which they're up by 104 yards on the Packers, if you count sacks in there as well. Rushing, the Packers actually are up by 34 there. They're previewing I think they're previewing next week's Sunday Night Football. It's next week's Thursday Night Football, Rams, 49ers. Not happening. I'm not watching the 49ers embarrass themselves again. It's just in general been the Lions game. They've been completely toasting them. 5 minutes more possession than them. The turnovers, the Packers lost that fumble. If they had scored on that one, this game would have been 17-14, and the Packers would have had a chance to make this one real tight. Because if they get the ball back at halftime, even a field goal would have made it 17-17. A touchdown would have had them taking the lead. So that fumble was huge because that was actually a really nice-looking drive. It's kind of the same thing that we saw last Thursday in the Packers-Dolphins game, because if you look at the stats, the Dolphins would have won if A, they had made that 4th down conversion in the red zone, and B, they hadn't had that crucial fumble that gave Green Bay the win. It's because ultimately, I'm standing by this. The Dolphins played a pretty good game. Tua had a 121.4 quarterback rating. That's really good. He didn't play badly. But in this one, Jordan Love is playing badly. He's playing very badly. He's missed some wide open throws. He's taken some shots. It's kind of looking like the Lions defense has him rattled a bit. Jack Campbell with his 6 tackles, 3 of which solo. He's been flying around. Kirby Joseph's had a nice start to this one. 3 tackles, 2 solos. Darius Smith, he's got his 2 solo tackles and a sack as well. In this one, he's also got a quarterback hit. Al-Quadin Muhammad has been very efficient in rushing the passer as well. They've all just done a very good job of getting at the quarterback. We've seen Mitchell Agude get at him once on a blitz. Quan Alexander, I didn't even know he was on the Lions, came in on a blitz once. The secondary, we haven't seen a whole lot from Green Bay because they haven't had to. They've been locking down these Green Bay receivers. We haven't seen anything from Green Bay so far. There's just been no pushback. It's disappointing because Green Bay's, I really expected Green Bay to put on a show today, but they haven't shown me what I've needed to see so far. And this one, Detroit has largely dominated this one, and it's not looking like it's changing unless they can storm out here in the second half of the big one. But it's going to need to be a big one. Yeah, they're going to need a score here at the end because it's not looking good. here at halftime. The Lions are basically wiping the floor with them. They even have had better punts than the Packers. If you can believe it, they've had better punts than Green Bay. Daniel Whelan. I didn't know that was their punter. And, of course, Jack Fox has been a great punter over the years. Yeah, no, it's not been pretty for Green Bay. Even on defense, Green Bay hasn't managed to get anything going. Really, the best player has been Isaiah McDuffie. He's been kind of soaring around. He's got 7 total tackles, one of which solo. Then Kenny Clark, Quay Walker, Keeson Nixon, Javon Bullard, Xavier McKinney. They've all been making tackles, but that's because they've been having to. There's no pass breakups. They're not getting any pass breakups. So far in this one, they only have 3 tackles for loss. In this one, they need to start getting those plays there. They have to start breaking up passes, because ultimately you can't make a tackle if they can't break up the pass. It is off to a tough start. I will say it's not looking good. I'm gonna check on my chair. I'm gonna check on my chair real quick. It has broken only slightly. How did I do this? There we go. All right. Chair fixed. I'm an engineer. Boom. I don't even know how it broke. Yeah, I should charge this. 1 second. Halftime break. I'm gonna find. Ow. Yeah, this setup hurts. Let's take a look at maybe some of next week's games. Ooh. Or this upcoming week's games even. Why did that not work? I don't know. We'll see. Nope. Stuff is not working on my other spreadsheet right now, so I'm having issues checking for stuff. So this week we have some good ones. Sunday Night Football could be interesting. Chargers and Chiefs. The Chiefs win that one. They basically lock up the AFC West. If they don't, maybe the Chargers still kind of in it, but not really. Have a good one in Seahawks-Cardinals that could determine the NFC West. At the 1 o'clock window, we have a pretty decent rivalry between the Falcons and the Vikings. I know I've always enjoyed watching that particular matchup. I remember turning it on the TV, and every year it seems to happen because you turn on the TV on Fox, and that's the game that was always on because we were relatively close to Georgia. So we'd see that one on Fox at like 1 o'clock while the Dolphins game was playing on CBS. Week after that, ooh, man, yeah, that's got some Thursday Night Football action. Rams, 49ers. Yeah, I'm passing on that one. Dolphins, Texans could be a good one to watch out for in the 1 o'clock window. Late window, Steelers, Eagles, Lions, and Bills. Those are 2 very big matchups that I will be not commentating on. I will be commentating most likely on it's looking like I might be in Green Bay again. It's looking like it. If you could believe it, I might have back-to-back Green Bay games. Who's playing on Monday night? Who's playing on Monday night? I'm not sure because I'm pretty certain that the best night game is Packers-Seahawks. I think it has the most implication because if the Seahawks drop that one, then that could be tough, especially if they lose to Arizona this weekend. If they lose to both Arizona and Green Bay, they might have issues in the NFC West. However, if Green Bay loses that one, they might not be totally safe in the playoffs. After all, losing this one and then going in and losing against Seattle in back-to-back weeks is a tough blow to take. They'll drop down to 9-5. That's dangerous territory there. That means they would basically have to win at least half of their final few games to want to have a spot there. They got off to a hot start, but this is a tough stretch here. So the second half, so yeah, that's what happens if they, because they might not be totally safe if they lose to Seattle. So I think it's a pretty big game on Sunday night. So I think that might be the one, unless I check and it turns out Monday Night Football is really good, which I don't believe it is. But someone let me know what Monday Night Football is, because I can't check at the moment because I'm charging. So kickoff, we'll start off Green Bay's day at the 30-yard line. Here we go. Out comes Jordan Love. There's Dan Campbell. Dan the man. I don't understand why this house makes noises at 3 a.m. It's a question I have. It's just when you hear boom. What was that? Boom. That's not suspicious. Boom. Like maybe it's the dryer? No. No idea what the sounds are. Just throughout the night. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Lions show a bit of pressure, then they back off. They bring 6 at Jacobs, who's nailed in the backfield. Brian Branch saying, "You're not going anywhere." And a good start for this Lions defense, stumping him in the backfield. Obviously, that was a focus for Aaron Glenn, saying we got to be able to stop the run this half. Don't let him get any traction on you. And Brian Branch came in like a jet to make the tackle on Josh Jacobs. The speed from Branch, he bounces off Dontavian Wicks, and it lays the boom on Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Tough start to this game, to the second half, loss of 1. Branch might be coming in on a safety blitz here. He's definitely showing it. And he'll bring it. Tries to get some speed on Love. Love looks deep. He's got him. He's got him. Christian Watson down to the 10-yard line. Jordan Love lays it in his breadbasket. What a throw from Jordan Love. He had him. Christian Watson had him beat on the press, and Love just lays it out right in his hands. Christian Watson had to slow down just a bit. He might have had a touchdown if Love had put it just 2 more yards in front of him. But what a throw nonetheless. Oh, and Green Bay is immediately set up for success on this one. What a throw. So Watson now 2 receptions, 79 yards. And I'm pretty sure Jordan Love just more than doubled his previous number. And he throws it again to Christian Watson, falls incomplete. I've never disliked you or anything you've done. I think you're forgetting that this game could be 21-17 if they score again here, if he had it. You could be winning. Instead, the best you can do is down by a field goal. Come on, throw to Josh Jacobs or Jaden Reed. I think I might have Jaden Reed in. I think I might have stuck with 2 Packers. That feels like a mistake on my part. Let me check. 2nd and 10. Love under center. Branch coming in on the blitz again. He'll back out. 5-man rush. Love floats one over to Watson, incomplete. Okay, the Lions are doing some good for someone else's team. I don't know why that's the one it focused in on. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's probably why. My opponent has not changed their... I'm like, why am I supposed to win by so much? What has Josh Jacobs done? But no, it's just that they still have Christian McCaffrey in for some reason. But send them a text, be like, you should probably fix that. Why didn't you take it home? Because he's not that good. 3rd and 10. Reed in motion. Blitz coming for Love. Love over center. It's caught. What a throw. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Tucker Kraft. And Tucker Kraft has crafted another touchdown. And Jordan Love brings the Packers within a field goal. What a throw by Jordan Love. Okay. How about that? He puts it right where only he could get it. What a throw. Kraft mac and cheese, is that what? Oh, that's funny. Yeah. He makes that throw. Wow. That was a beautiful, that was a dot, I gotta say. For as bad as he was in the first quarter, he has come out slinging in this second half. He's already got a pass and touchdown. Welcome back to the football game, Green Bay. We've missed your offense. And Jordan Love, he's hyped up as Green Bay. Welcome back. We've missed him. And Jordan Love feeling the love from Packers fans around the world as he gets him within 3. Turnover time, all right? Bet. We'll see. I mean, honestly, the Lions are the most likely team in the league to have a turnover on downs. They're also the most likely team to get a first down on 4th down. It's like, why? Because they've gone for it like 60 times this year. Constant basis. Like, I think we're going to go for it. 4th and 5, we're going for it. 4th and 37, we're going for it. What? I went for a 4th and 5 using the Lions in Madden. It was hilarious. I was at my own 6. I'm like, you know what? I'm Dan Campbell. I can do whatever I want. So I actually traded for Jamar Chase earlier in the offseason. So I had Jamar Chase on a press just straight down the field, and I just launched it to him, and he scored a 96-yard touchdown. Like, 4th and 37, we make this. Then Jared Goff just drops a dime right into Jamar Chase, who just runs like 70 yards the rest of the way. Because we don't punt even on 4th and 37. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, yeah, 4th and 37, just like Jamar Chase. Jared Goff Jared Goff's so accurate in Madden, it's crazy. Like, they've definitely changed him for pass games. Like, he hasn't thrown an interception yet. He's thrown a few almost interceptions, but he hasn't thrown an interception yet through like 14 games. He's been perfect. He loves the middle of the field. I think his most issues have come on the edge, but he dropped a perfect dime to Jamar Chase, and Chase like, I'm just gonna take it the rest of the way if you don't mind. Yeah. I just go for it every time. I don't think I've ever punted. Even like if I say I'm punting, I'll be like, I think I'm gonna pass the ball. Which is why I hate when the punter gets injured. Because Jack Fox got injured with my Lions season. And I'm like, no, my 4th down quarterback. I actually had to go for it on every 4th down. It doesn't happen that often, though. So Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love cooking up some magic. In the first drive of the second half, got off to a blazing start. We'll see if the defense feels the momentum shift and holds Detroit back to give their offense the ball back. Detroit will be starting from their own 30-yard line. Takes a knee. Jordan Love was poised in that one. You see, he's got the tongue flicking. He does the tongue flick. I don't think just put him back. Just put them back the way they were. I'm like, I liked kickoffs the way they were. I'm like, I understand the thing about taking, hi, Mom. That was funny. You can read his lips there. Tucker Kraft waving at the camera saying, hi, Mom. That's hilarious. Amon-Ra St. Brown in motion. Hand off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs thinks he has a hold. Does not. He'll get about 2 yards. Like, just, hi, Mom. That's exactly what I would do, too. If I saw Skycam focusing in on me, I would just wave, hi, Mom. How's it going? Just to be fun. Because I'm just funny like that. Holding. Offense. There's a holding on Detroit, which will push them back. So a good start for Green Bay's defense is Detroit shooting themselves in the foot a bit early. It's on Penei Sewell. Don't see that from him very often. The guy that the Dolphins completely passed up on. That would have been nice. Maybe Tua wouldn't have gotten so many concussions. 1st and 20 from their own 20-yard line. St. Brown in motion again. Goff looks to throw. He has St. Brown. It's a quick tackle made there. I'll get about 5. Pretty sure he was down about 5, even though he kept going for another 4, but I think they're going to count him down after 5. I mean, honestly, I would just like kickoffs to go back to the way they were, because they say that they're making that there wasn't that many returns. But I also want to say that there has been quite a few, like, if you look back far enough, the benefits of returning a kick are much better, and I think a coach knows that. It's not gonna, like, returning kicks won't work in this one because of the way the defenders are set up. Goff flicks one and it's intercepted! And he throws one straight to Keyshawn Nixon. The 20-15. You won the bet. He actually won the bet. Jared Goff throws a pick. And the Packers are in the red zone. He actually won one. Pepper, congratulations, my man. You've won the bet. Jared Goff. He threw one right to Keyshawn Nixon. I thought that was, I was in shock. I'm like, he actually threw an interception. That was an awful decision by Goff, throwing it to a double-covered, mediocre wide receiver. Wow. And so Jared Goff, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL, has thrown another interception. And so the Packers are suddenly the full momentum in the way of Wisconsin. Love under center. Jaden Reed in motion. Hand off to Jacobs. Jacobs tries to make a cut. Oh, he'll be held up after getting a 2. Brian Branch is injured. Uh-oh. That did not look comfortable. Oh, he hops back up. Wow. He looked injured, and then he just popped back up like a spring. Oh, man. Got a drinking problem. 2nd and 8. Up for Green Bay. Packers offense on their first 3 drives, 10 plays, 37 yards, and 1 first down. Their last 3 drives, 17 plays, 137 yards, and 9 first downs. 2nd and 8. Green Bay's at the Detroit 14 after the Goff turnover. Love looks, he's got Dontavian Wicks for what's going to be close to a first down. They're going to mark him, it looks like maybe just shy. They're going to give him the first down. It's a rough, it's like right on the marker. We'll see where they spot it. 1st and goal. They're going hurry up. Trying to keep the mark. They will get to keep the spot. Josh Jacobs runs it up the middle. Josh Jacobs, touchdown Packers! Josh Jacobs, he's got 2. And the Packers have taken the lead 21-17. What a 4 minutes. It's been 4 minutes and a 10-point lead has been blown. This is NFL football. This is football. This is football, folks. Welcome to a real NFL game. And the Packers have completely turned this game on its head in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. The extra point is good for McManus, 21-17. The Packers and the Packers have stormed out of the gate like no one has seen in a while off the Keyshawn Nixon interception. And Josh Jacobs never stops rolling his legs. 21-17, the Packers have the lead. And Green Bay is storming right now. Wow. That's incredible. I'm in shock. The 4 minutes. In 4 minutes. I said that they had to get off to a fast start at halftime, but I wasn't really expecting them to go that fast. You're like, what a job that Jordan Love put together a beautiful drive. Josh Jacobs scores the touchdown. But, I mean, the Jared Goff interception was shocking. He's normally a very clean quarterback, and he would make a decision like that's insane. Because that was an awful decision. He threw it into double coverage, and the person he was throwing to was Tim Patrick. Like, that was not, it was either a really bad play call by Ben Johnson or a bad decision by Jared Goff. I did not see that coming. And just like that, the Green Bay Packers hold a 4-point lead in the divisional rivalry here in Detroit, and suddenly the crowd is gone in the Motor City. The motor has been taken out of the city because they are not roaring for now. The Lions need a score here. Oh, man, the momentum shift. That's the biggest momentum shift I've seen in quite a long time. That is absolutely insane. I'm going back to my original pick. I didn't even change shirts, so it didn't happen. 34-31. I didn't find the card stock either. So it's still 34-31 Packers. That's the pick. I'm hoping I nail it. If I will go down in history as the greatest picks master if I nail it. I need the Packers to start kicking field goals though. Like, can you kick a field goal, please? I know they don't have the best luck doing that. Anders Carlson. There's no place like home. Jared Goff at Ford Field. Wow. Yeah, his previous 4 games, 100% completion, 80% completion against Tennessee, 83% completion against Jacksonville, 155.8, 129.9, 158.3, a 62 completion percentage against Chicago, 100.2 quarterback rating. Over 100 in all of them. But he's already thrown an interception in this one, so perhaps that streak's about to end. This has been a shocking turn of events here. I'm not sure where this has come from. But the Packers, like something Matt LaFleur said in the locker room, that's why he's one of the best coaches in the league, because he has the ability to get his team back in the game like that. Like no other. That is absolutely fantastic job. Interceptions this season, he had 5 at Houston. He had 1 against the Rams, 2 against Tampa Bay, 1 against Arizona. So it was 5 of his right off the bat. There, he's had 1 tonight, and then the other 5 came against Houston in Week 10, and they still won the game. That was frustrating. It was like, how is it possible that a quarterback threw 5 interceptions and still won the game? That single-handedly debunked his MVP case. Jared Goff throws, he'll dump it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. The Packers fighting with a renewed spirit as they tackle him easily after a gain of 5. It's Christian Watson. Or Jordan Love for missing that touchdown so badly on the floater that should have been to Kraft. He was open, but he missed it. And that'll probably go for a first down to Tim Patrick. The Packers were there in a split second, though. Noticing the release time from Goff is getting faster. The tempo is rising as Detroit tries to get themselves back into the game themselves. Right after Green Bay has stormed in like a herd of buffalo. And I don't mean the Bills. I mean like their own kind of thing. They're cheese buffaloes. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Goff under center. Laporta in motion. It's a shovel to Gibbs going nowhere. Gain of 1.5. Packers stuffing the run. Green Bay is really fighting right now. I'm starting to see why the game against Seattle this Sunday could be really great, because suddenly I'm seeing the fire in this Packers team. Once that first score happened, once they started getting rolling, whatever happened in halftime, whatever was said, suddenly the spark was lit. And once the spark was lit, a whole forest could get on fire if you just spark one tiny light. And that's what happened. Jared Goff drops back to pass. He's got a man. Oh, it's dropped by Sam Laporta. Oh, it was a good throw, but Laporta drops it, brings up 3rd and 8. I thought that was a completion, but good job by the defense breaking that up there. I thought he had that. Good job by, I think it was Stokes in coverage, making the play. Oh, no, Stokes did nothing. He just dropped it. Slips right through Laporta's hands. He should have had that. He should have had that. And, oh, there's an injured Packer. Oh, no, it's an injured referee. Take the credit, Stokes. There's an injured referee. See what's going on here. Not sure. But there's obvious concern as we see multiple medical personnel near him. He'll be lifted to his feet. I wonder what happened. And the refs are checking in on him to see if they need the replacement referee. They do have some on staff. We'll see what happened. Oh, and a Packer player just accidentally body checked the referee on his way back. Appears to have injured his shoulder. Huh. I feel like we've seen a lot more referee injuries lately. A lot more than usual. Yeah, I know. I'm also surprised they don't get hit more often. But like, I feel like, especially very recently, it's just been like, oh look, a referee got carted off the field. A referee's down. Why is this happening so much now? It didn't used to happen. It never used to happen. Like, I haven't really seen much of referees getting injured. Very rarely. And then suddenly it's like there's a referee, like a side judge, that keeps getting injured. Like almost once every week now, I feel like. Yeah, I know. Like, it's like these guys have been healthy for the entirety of NFL history. Then suddenly, it's just like now they're going to get hurt because they have replacements. It's like the chain gang decided to go on injury strike. It's like, oh, you're thinking of replacing with a line, okay? Thinking of replacing us with a line? Okay, we understand. You know what? We're going to put you in a really uncomfortable situation. We're going to make you go find another chain guy in the middle of a game. Well, like, they have the referee, like, they have backups, but, like, why? It doesn't make sense to me how just now of all times that all of these guys would be getting injured. It's like it hasn't happened before. It's just suddenly like, boom, they're all injured. Yeah, but yeah, so the Seattle Seahawks have played with a certain fire that I haven't seen from a whole lot of teams, and I've seen them on Red Zone, and I've just watched the way that Kenneth Walker has ran and the way that Geno Smith has played, and they've showed that they've wanted to win more than any other team in these last few weeks. They've needed to win, and they've showed that determination to make the playoffs more than any other team because they know that they're not secure, and they've started playing really hard. And I started seeing that right there on those drives, on those 2 drives from Green Bay. I saw that something sparked inside of them in the locker room. They came out in halftime, something that Matt LaFleur had to have said, something that maybe Jeff Hafley said, but something sparked and a whole fire started. So Carl Johnson was the line judge who was injured. It is a shoulder. It looks like he might be a rotator cuff issue. It's from all those flags that he's been throwing. Whenever he's doing this, it's normally rotator cuff, right? Yeah. So Terry McCauley was explaining whether someone could get ejected for that, but don't believe so. 3rd and 8, blitz coming. It's a dump off to Jamison Williams. Jamison Williams almost gets the first down, but he comes a yard short. What a job by the big man. Getting the stop there, bringing up 4th and 1. The Lions are going for this. There's no way they don't. The Lions have to go for this. Yeah, I mean, it's Detroit. 4th and 1. Don't you, Dan. Don't be a Dan. He's going for it. 4th and 1. They have Jahmyr Gibbs in the game. Interesting call. That means this might be a pass. Brock Wright in motion. And Goff's just going to take it himself. He's got an easy first down. Tricky quarterback sneak there. I didn't even see that one coming. I thought they were a little too far back for a quarterback sneak, but Campbell ain't scared. Dan the man ain't scared. He's not scared of Green Bay's defense. Ooh. He just says, like, they had a little bit of trickery, and he just kind of slides through. You've been damned. Wait. You've been damned. I can go deeper than that. You've been damned. Dan Campbell. Jared Goff, play action. Drops back, he'll shovel it down to David Montgomery. Montgomery has a nice little fire in that little run there to get about 14. Dan. It's like the Strouds. Stroud. Whenever Dan Campbell's faced with a 4th down. Dan, go for it. I dare you. It's just the voice in his ear. Dan, do it. That's totally what I picture. There's like an analyst in his ear or something that says, "You should go for it." Jared Goff rolls to his right, looks downfield. He's going to tuck it himself and run. He doesn't get the first down, but he gets about 9. Now, I'm sure there's just this one analyst that's up in the booth that has this really raspy voice. He's like, Dan, I think you should go for it. Like, he's got the most, like, either Dan Campbell himself is aggressive, or it's just the analysts that are just like, I think we got this. He's just got the bravest analysts in the world that like, Dan, I think we should go for it. Like, you know what? I think you might be right. Like all 5 analysts on the same page. 2nd and 1. Jamison Williams in motion. Oh, and that one was almost blown up, but Jahmyr Gibbs has an edge. He's got the 20 speed time, and he gets down inside the 10-yard line. And the Packers almost had Gibbs dead to rights in the backfield, but somehow escapes that one. Oh, that was a terrifying moment for Lions fans. Wow, Jared Goff got blown up. Jahmyr Gibbs almost got blown up by 94. Who is that? Don't know. But Jahmyr Gibbs then just turns on the Jets. He's wearing those Sonic the Hedgehog shoes. Help us remember who he is. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Goff will start in shotgun. Brock Wright in motion. Goff throws to the end zone. He overthrows Laporta. 2nd and goal. .6:23 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's a close game after the Packers stormed back after halftime. The Lions are at 2nd and goal. Jared Goff signaling something to the coach, Matt LaFleur. That's funny. He's not even talking into his headset. He's just looking. He's got the play sheet pretending he knows what he's doing when his team's on defense. Monroe St. Brown in motion. Handoff goes to Gibbs. Gibbs has the edge. Jahmyr Gibbs comes just short, about 4 yards shy. It was a good attempt, but a nice tackle by McDuffie. 3rd and goal. It's like when an offensive head coach wants to be involved with defense. Okay, we're going to run Alpha Delta 1912, and then the coach is just like, yeah, we're going to do that. That's the face on Matt LaFleur. He's just watching like, Yeah. 3rd and goal from the 4. St. Brown in a bit of motion. He just rearranges the 3 on the left side. And it's going to be a handoff to Gibbs, who won't get there. Questionable play call there. I'm not sure why they would run it there. The line was pretty stacked. You go for this. You go for it. I mean, that's just the Lions. That's who they are. They're going on 4th and 3. They knew that this was 4-down territory. Just kick, please. Or at least get 2 yards just so we can watch the Packers struggle at the 1-yard line just for fun. Just get 2 yards. Don't get the last one. And Jared Goff, quick snap. He'll throw. He's got Tim Patrick. Touchdown, Lions. And the Lions roar back after the Packers score 14 unanswered. The Lions finally catch up to retake a 3-point lead. And what a fast snap. They didn't even let the Packers get realigned. And the Lions caught him looking. That's crazy. So Jared Goff saw that the defense wasn't prepared. He snaps the ball early, and Tim Patrick just runs a simple slants route and has him right in the zone. Great job by Detroit. Smart plays by Goff. So the Lions, with this extra point, makes it 24-21. It's in. The Lions have a 3-point lead. Okay, so if my score is going to be right, I need the Packers to score 2 field goals and a touchdown. So if those field goals could start coming now, that would be great. My prediction is Packers are going to score a field goal here and give the ball back to, honestly, I don't think either team is going to kick a field goal at this point. I'm surprised Detroit kicked 1 field goal. It's kind of funny because it's like, they're just going to keep going for it. 4th and 37. I think we can make it. Dan, 4th and 37 isn't that long. What is this? There's this weird robot. No, that's not. Those still exist? Huh. I didn't know Dell laptops still exist. No one uses Dell anymore. Not sponsored by Dell. Although I feel like I might be in their price range. That was a low dig. I'm sorry, Dell. Those are definitely Bills fans. People jumping in an icy lake. there's snow around and you're jumping in a lake. No. Yeah, I mean, there's just no reason. Have you been here this whole time? There's just no reason to use Dell anymore. Like I think I've used in my time, I've used Apple. Yeah, I've used a MacBook and I've used Lenovo, but I don't think I've ever had a Dell. I think I did have. I think my first computer was a Dell, but I had it for like a year. Then it died because it was like ancient. Well, Dell, it takes about 10 minutes to start it. Yeah, it's so slow. I think I had one originally. I had a Dell, and then I switched to a Lenovo. And now I kind of switch between the Lenovo and the MacBook. Not sponsored by any of these companies. It's like the one that I'm on now is the MacBook. Because the Lenovo is awful for this stuff. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, he's a 50% Lions fan, and he hasn't said anything this entire time. The Kings of the NFC North. Detroit 11-1, Minnesota 10-2, and Green Bay's 9-3. Second division in NFL history with 3 teams, 6 games over 500 through week 13 or earlier. They have a .833 combined win percentage, which would be the highest by 3 teams in the same division in NFL history. Oh, the poor Bears. That's funny that they excluded them there. They're just off to the side. Yeah, he was just sitting here the entire time, like, just staring. He's like, you know what? I think I'm going to chime in on this random thing. We're talking about computers. The line judge is back. His rotator cuff is not torn. Excuse me. Clear my throat. Get a little clearer. No reaction to the Packers storming back. No reaction to the Lions roaring back. I mean, nothing. Then the computer thing. Tim Patrick got the game ball. Good for him. So Jared Goff awards Tim Patrick the game ball because there's multiple. They mass produce them. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line after the kickoff went for yet another touchback. This dynamic kickoff is awful. 1st and 10. Jordan Love will hand it off. It's a flea flicker! It's a flea flicker! And Jordan Love pump fakes. He'll throw it at the dirt. Shame. Disappointment. He didn't see the look he wanted. Man. Thought we were going to get to see a successful flea flicker. I was so excited. I'm like, flea flicker! No, yeah, he had not. He might have had something on the pump, but it could have been intercepted if he hadn't gotten it perfect. Yeah, he just threw it at the dirt. As long as you were watching, paying attention to the game. And me, more importantly, me, not the game. Josh Jacobs, handoff going nowhere. Maybe a gain of 1. 3rd and long coming up. Packers offense might be stalling here. Flea flicker, it was a well-designed play. I think he might have actually had it. Jaden Reed was kind of open. It was a tight throw, but I believe in Jordan Love. It would have meant standing in and taking the hit. So maybe he is a little rattled. 3rd down coming up for the Packers. 3rd and 8, 4:22 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Jordan Love all by himself. Coverage prediction, man. Oh, thanks, genius. Yeah, it's man. There's no safeties. There's no safeties. I mean, really, they should audible to a deep play. They didn't get it off. Timeout, Green Bay. And the Lions crowd, they didn't get the timeout off either. Delay a game. The Lions crowd is getting into this. No, they are going to give them the timeout. So timeout, Green Bay. The Lions crowd getting into this game. I mean, so this game has had everything. So it's had the Lions got off to a strong start. The Packers clapped back. Then the Lions roared back. And now the crowd's in it as well. Jordan Love. He also goes on it for 4th down. Jack Campbell pumping up this defense, pumping up this crowd. Third and 9. Blitz showing from Detroit. They rush 6. There's a free rusher. Love throws. It's caught by... Oh, it might be intercepted. We'll see who comes down with it. Terrion Arnold came out with it. It looks like they're calling it a catch. Yeah, they're saying it's a catch. It's not an interception. Don't worry. 4th down, the Packers will probably punt. 4th and 3. Yeah. At the same time, the Lions are their offense is kind of playing really well. They might not go for this here. Oh, Jordan Love took a shot at the end of that one. Yeah, I don't think I would go for it. Maybe if it was like a yard closer. So fair caught at the 21 where the Lions will start their drive. So the Packers go 3 and out, giving the Lions back the ball with the chance to go up by 10 yet again, rendering their little comeback moot. Hitting Love. Wow, savages. I feel like Love is kind of taking a beating in this one because he's not been releasing quick enough, and the refs aren't calling it. The refs are kind of letting them play a little because it's like, well, he did just throw it. Like, he saw them coming at his face. He just threw it now. Then they're kind of letting them get away with one. I mean, this has been a solid crew. The big miss that I've seen so far has been the face mask earlier in the game where it was, and the guy that was blatantly offsides. I'm like, dude, he's like lined up at the same position as your quarterback. He might as well just be a part of the offense. That was funny, but Goff under center, Montgomery in the backfield. It's going to be play action. Goff will just dump it down to Montgomery, who will get about 3 or 4 yards before he's pushed back by this Packers defense. 2nd down. These last 4 possessions from the Lions have resulted in a field goal, a touchdown, an interception, and then another touchdown. The longer the drive, the better. Yeah. They had 6 plays, 14 yards. Yeah. They've kind of gone in chunks. The plays that they've kind of looked downfield a bit more have been the ones that they've had a bit more success in. And they're going to hand it off to Montgomery. Will try to get a pop towards the outside. Will not. He'll get about a yard before he's pushed back. 3rd and mid coming up for Detroit. You know, someone that's been really locked down so far today has been Amon-Ra St. Brown. They just showed him. That was crazy. Unintentional. Xavier McKinney's done a very good job of covering him so far in this one. So credit where credit is due with Xavier McKinney. He's done a good job covering him. He's playing a little far back here. He's letting Amon-Ra get some space, though. And Goff looks that way, doesn't see him. He'll dump it through to Patrick, who won't get there. Tim Patrick will make the catch, but he'll come a yard short. Does Dan go for it on 4th and 1 from his own 30? Of course he's going for it. Yeah, it's Detroit. They're going for it. 4th and 1 from the 30. They're 3 of 3 on 4th down. Why do we give Dan the option? Goff under center. They're stuffing the line. It's a shovel to Gibbs. He's too far back. He makes a nice cut. He's not going to get there. The Packers hold him short and will take over at the 30-yard line. And the risk does not pay off this time for Detroit. The Packers will take over on downs. And Green Bay's defense clutched up. It was a bad play call. I saw it because both times that I've said he's too far back, it's exactly what's happened. Gibbs was 6 yards away from the quarterback on that one. He was 8 yards away from the first down marker. I get the whole running start thing, but when the Packers are playing a tightly bunched defense like that, that's not going to work. Especially when they have a scout, a spy on the quarterback and the running back. Gibbs fumbled at the end of that play. No one saw it because it didn't matter, but Gibbs fumbled. And no one seemed to have picked up on it. 1st and 10. Read in motion from the 30-yard line. It's a handoff to Josh Jacobs. We'll go for about 4 or 5. Yeah, they're going to, I don't say 3.5, probably 4. Xavier Depoy. Maybe. There's definitely some people up there. I think he's definitely one of the best at his position. But there's also some really great players that have made a statement for themselves this year. He's definitely up there. I have my pick locked in for defensive rookie of the year, but defensive player of the year is kind of a toss-up. 2nd and 7. Jacobs in motion. They'll go play action to him. He'll throw up the middle. It's bobbled by Tucker Kraft. He'll get to the 10. He'll make a nice move before he's popped at the 7. Ooh, ninja move there. Nice. So he takes the shot, and then he just pops back up. So he tries to jump him in, pays for it, then says, I take that hit any day. But hey, when you're that big, you will take that hit any day. So he jumps Kirby Joseph and then takes a beating from Jack Campbell, and then he pops back up. Whew. Tucker Kraft. He's got 3 receptions for 41 yards and a touchdown. I've gotten 30 calendar entries at the same time. That's crazy. Stop. 1st and goal. Jordan Love. This is the end of the 3rd quarter. Lions 24, Packers 21. The Packers stormed back, but the Lions clapped in with 1 touchdown. The Lions lead only by 3, but after a failed 4th down at their own 30-yard line, the Packers are deep inside Lions territory when we come back after the break. This game has suddenly gotten much more interesting. I'm thrilled with how this game has gone so far. I think I made the right choice. I say that, but then watch Chiefs-Chargers be 45-45, go into overtime and then tie. It's my luck. No, Tucker Kraft. So, Pepper, Tucker Kraft or Luke Musgrave? Who's better? Musgrave. Who's the future starting tight end? Musgrave or Kraft? This is a tough one. I would take Musgrave just because he looked better in general. Like in college, he had a lot more talent, I thought, than Kraft did. So they're both great, but I think that probably as a starter, I think Kraft's very dangerous as a backup. But I think that personally, I think Musgrave's the starter. But they're going to keep them both. Oh, that's mean. The Chipotle commercial. Hate these commercials. Hungry. Not sponsored by basically anything I say. Yeah, I would say he's got a lot of talent, good potential. Man, I could go for some Chipotle right now. Have to go to France. Actually, no, I'd have to go to London probably. I think there's one in London. Not sure. The Chipotle that I know is in Lyon. Or as the Americans butcher it and say lion. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a Chipotle in London. It's just in a weird spot because I feel like we've passed it, but we don't go by that area very often. But I know the one in Lyon's very convenient. It's in the train station. It's like right outside the train station. Like that's a nice place for a Chipotle. There's a ton of stuff. Like the amount of American restaurants in that French mall is ridiculous. 1st and goal, 15 minutes left to play in this game. In regular time, the way this game's going, I would not be surprised if we end up going into OT. These two teams are competing. 1st and goal for the Packers at the 6-yard line. Love under center. I think that's Kraft in motion. And Jacobs is the back. 2 potential blitzers. They drop back. One of them drops back. Love looks to throw. Doesn't have anything. He'll throw to the sideline towards Kraft. He'll get about 2 yards. So that play broke down a little quickly there for the Packers. Love didn't have anything. Good defense by Aaron Glenn. In the red zone this year, this game for Green Bay, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. See if they can make it 4 for 4. Second and goal from the 4-yard line. Heavy pressure coming from Detroit. Handoff goes to Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, give him another one. Josh Jacobs says, I'm going for 1, 2, 3 touchdowns, and the Packers retake the lead. Up by 3, pending an extra point. And the Packers, what a comeback. And it's all been because of Josh Jacobs. This guy has been a beast. I'm so glad I have him on my fantasy team this week. I mean, his yards production hasn't actually been all that much, but boy, oh boy, are those touchdowns coming in handy. He's probably got at least 20-something fantasy points by this point just from rushing touchdowns alone. Fantastic game for Josh Jacobs, and the Packers lead by 4, 28-24. The Lions take over 14-20 to go. We've encountered a shootout, folks. It's exactly as I said. It was 17-7. Suddenly, someone got the memo that this was supposed to be a high-scoring affair. 28-24. The Packers are here to play, and the Lions are in need of a bit of a comeback. Josh Jacobs, off of the 4th down stop on Jahmyr Gibbs, the other running back, cashes in. The Packers lead by 4. Coming up next, it's the Lions offense. Ben Johnson, annoyed. Dan Campbell, basically doing the same thing I'm doing. We both got allergies. I'm allergic to this continent. Just the entire continent of Europe, I'm allergic. It's crazy. I don't have a Zyrtec. Wait, no, I don't have to say it there. I'm not sponsored by Zyrtec. Like if you go outside and I don't have my Zyrtec, it's like, oh, man, the flat, especially in spring. I hate spring. It used to be it's fun in the US. Over here, less so. It's kind of like my nose hurts every 2 seconds. So out comes Jared Goff here on Thursday Night Football, down by 4. There's still plenty of time left to play. And these two teams are playing hard. The Lions, we'll see if they can come back here. Well, it was fine there because I'm not allergic to all the flowers in Florida. I'm not allergic to flowers in Florida. But whatever blooms here during the spring, it stays all year round, and it's annoying. Goff looks deep. He throws a bullet into Tim Patrick, who's been his go-to guy, surprisingly. That'll get him to just shy of midfield, about the 47-yard line. 1st and 10. Is it fishing? I don't go fishing. I've never had a reason to go fishing. I wouldn't mind it probably, but I've just never had anyone that would want to go fishing. Yeah. Oof. I mean, in Florida, it's kind of like summer's great, winter's fine. Well, summer's great if you like the heat. Winter's fine. Spring is fine. Autumn's kind of nice. I like autumn. Autumn in Florida is just like 10 degrees cooler than summer. It's like it's exactly the same as summer, but 10 degrees cooler. I believe that was Ballard injured at the end of that play. I do like being able to see the leaves change here in Europe. It's cool to see. Oh man, has anyone been to Tennessee in autumn? Beautiful. My goodness, that was my favorite autumn trip I've been on because we don't travel a whole lot during like to the US during this autumn time, especially not anywhere that's not Florida. So it's like we go, and we went to Tennessee one time in like mid-November. Beautiful. I mean, incredible. We went to Gatlinburg. Beautiful. The trees were amazing. The mountain was all covered in red. It was so cool to see. Yeah, here in spring, you can't go 2 days. I know. In Florida, they say there could be a tornado. And it's always funny because I know that me and a few other people are like, tornado? What's a tornado? And they're like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. No, it's not. We always make fun of the tornadoes in Florida because they're always saying, there's going to be a tornado. There's going to be a tornado. I really don't think there is. I think that's just a gust of wind. So we have fun in Alaska in September. I haven't been to Alaska. My brother's been to Alaska, but I have not personally been to Alaska. No, I have absolutely no interest in being in the Midwest in spring. Sorry. No tornadoes for me. I'm fine with hurricanes because Florida houses are built different. So they're literally built different. It's funny how many people in Miami were thrilled about Hurricane Helene because they're like, wow, we actually didn't get hit by a hurricane for once. They were so shocked. The Simpsons Fun Day Football. What? Okay, pass. I'll not be caught wrestling a bear. That's Canada. Got the mountain police on you. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. Jared Goff under center. It's Amon-Ra in motion, play action towards Montgomery. It's another dump off to Montgomery. He's been the source of a lot of dump offs from Goff in this one. That'll go for about 7. 2nd and short coming up. Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. Jared Goff, play action passing under center. 1,359 yards. It's the most in the NFL. Come on, that's the fun part. Yeah, come fight the bear. In Canada, the Bears are nice. 2nd and 4, handoff to Montgomery. He'll get about 2, which brings up 3rd and 2. This is 2-down territory for Detroit, unless they've learned their lesson from their last drive, and they're not going to go for it on 4th down anymore. But that's not the philosophy Dan Campbell lives by, because he's still got that guy whispering in his ear, do it. 3rd down and 2. 12:50 to go. It's Brock Wright in motion. Blitz coming. And it's going to be a nice throw to Amon-Ra St. Brown, which will bring him inside the 35 to about the 32-yard line. 1st down, Detroit. He's on fire. I mean, whenever he touches the ball, he's great. It's just a matter of when, because Goff is a very careful quarterback who does not like throwing inside tight spaces that Amon-Ra often finds himself in, because Amon-Ra is going to get double covered almost all the time. He's a good wide receiver. He's going to get double covered, and Goff just isn't willing to throw to him in that type of coverage. Maybe a black bear. They look soft. I think you should try and pet one right on the nose. Actually, don't. Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 yards. 11:50 to go. The Lions are not, they're kind of running. They're taking it nice and slow. Here in this one, they're trying not to give the Packers too many drives to score with. The Lions, if they can, they want the ball last. Which is kind of the strategy. Whoever has the ball last is in a good shape when it's a game this close. 2nd and 9. It's Williams in motion. Goff steps up. He throws deep-ish to Sam Laporta. It's a 1st down inside the red zone. Sam Laporta. So we have both a Lions fan and a Packers fan in the house. Isn't this fun? We got the whole game visiting us. That was a good throw by Goff. It was a little wobbly, but he nailed him right in the hands, only where he could get it. Laporta's got 54 yards in this one. Laporta's in motion. It's a fake shovel, and it's a little trickeration, and it'll hand off to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who'll get a 1st down to the 7-yard line. It's about the 7-yard line. That was some interesting trickeration there. The Lions are digging into their playbook. As that was really confusing. It's a fake handoff to Laporta, shovel to Gibbs, and then just almost like a jet sweep to St. Brown. He might have had a touchdown if he had swept it to the outside. But he didn't want to take the risk. He wanted the easy first down. Just give him that touchdown. In the red zone, they've got 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. Let's see if they can make it 4 for 4, just like Green Bay. Handoff to Monty. Knuckles tries to score. He'll come short. He'll get about 3. Penei Sewell was a little... He might just be a big dude. He looked a little slow to get up, but he might just be really big. He's an injured Packer. I think that's Ballard. Oh, wow. Xavier McKinney got his... Amon-Ra St. Brown just chucked the helmet right off of McKinney, and they had a laugh about it. They've probably been having a good time matching up against each other today. David Montgomery tries to run it right up. The Packers will halt him there. Forward progress. Called below the whistle. Wow. 3rd and goal from the 1 or 2. It's like they're not calling the whistle. Packers are like, he hasn't moved in 2 minutes. 3rd and goal. 9 minutes to go. Can Jeff Hafley's defense hold strong against Ben Johnson's offense? Jared Goff will start under center. We'll see if they run the sneak defense. Looks like they might be ready for the sneak. And it's going to be play action. Blitz coming for Goff. He throws back in the end zone. Touchdown, Tim Patrick. The Lions take back the lead. And we got ourselves a shootout, folks. Good old-fashioned. As we got 2 teams, and they hit him with the Lambeau leap. Ugh, disgusting. The disrespect. Ugh. With the Lambeau leap at the end as well. Ugh. Man, no respect for the rivals. As Jared Goff, off his back foot, throws a nice, wobbly pass, but he delivers. He gets it to Tim Patrick for a 2nd touchdown. How about Tim Patrick being the go-to guy in this one? And the extra point's good. 28-31. Wow, okay. Is it just me or does Jared Goff have a huge sunburn in the middle of his forehead? Looks a little red. Hits him with the Lambeau. I mean, seriously. The disrespect. You gotta let him do that to you, Green Bay? That's crazy. I did not expect it of everyone to be scoring touchdowns in this one. Tim Patrick. Yeah, that's true. He's got a bruise. He had a pregame too. Yeah, I saw it. I'm like, does he have a sunburn? Like, how could he get a sunburn? It's Detroit. Like, I don't even think they have sun in Detroit that often. This is so mean. Now there's a KFC commercial. Just feed me. This is evil. Not sponsored by any food that shows up. Man, I can use some KFC. I had one a few weeks ago where I had some chicken. Haven't seen sun in 32 years. Go to KFC, order. I don't. It's really. I don't think they're open. I don't think there's a 24-hour KFC. I don't think. You can get it though. You can get it for both of us. Go get it for both of us. I'll eat vicariously through you. Yeah, man, I'm hungry. What's my go-to KFC order? I think it's the boneless banquet. It's like the sometimes I get the big one where it's like the KFC special, whatever, like the chicken bucket where it's like the 2 tenders, the 2 original, the 2 spicy, the fries, and then the popcorn chicken. That one's a good one. But I think most commonly I get the boneless banquet, which is I think it's 4 tenders, 4 boneless tenders, small popcorn chicken, fries, and a drink. I enjoy that. And corn. What's the score? Lions 31, Packers 28. We have a tight one. Josh Jacobs this season has 84 missed tackles forced. He leads the NFL as per AWS Next Gen Stats. He's got a 7.3 average tonight against Detroit here. He's got a season high. That's crazy. Oh, he's rolling. We'll see if he gets another touchdown. What's your go-to KFC order? I might be looking around. Did I say Siri? No, I didn't. I said go-to KFC order. Man, devices, they're always listening, huh? First and 10, there's some report happening right now. Something to do with Brian Branch, but I'm not listening, so I'm sure it's not too important. Jordan Love under center. Jacobs is the back. Saw Kraft in motion, I believe. Lions showing some blitz. Showing heavy blitz. Hand off to Jacobs, who makes a nice spin move. There's a flag and another flag. Was it delay of game? False start. That's the first false start penalty of the game. False start. And the crowd is getting into it. And they're the ones who caused that false start. I mean, the Lions fan base has been absolutely insane since they made the playoffs last year. I mean, they've showed up to every game. It's shirt that says I like the Lions before it was cool. That's true. I mean, the Lions fans that had to go through the tough times, those are the true Lions fans. Dontavian Wicks in the world's slowest motion. Handoff, Josh Jacobs, 1st and 15. He'll get upended after a gain of 1. Carlton Davis completely lifts him up and body slams him, WWE style. 2nd and long coming up for the Packers. See what the call is here. I haven't even seen Jaden Reed today, which is kind of disappointing. Yeah, I mean, the Lions fans, when they make the playoffs, they finally have something to cheer for after 50 years of nothing. Number 80, I don't know who that is, but he seems fast. Oh, and there's a free rusher at Love. Love gets rid of it somehow, and he delivers a dot to Christian Watson. What a play by Jordan Love. And then Christian Watson saying, "Get off me, Terrion Arnold." What a throw by Jordan Love. I mean, that play was blown. There was no offensive line there, and he dodges the sack from Campbell and then throws a bullet right into the hands of Christian Watson, who then makes some extra yards after catch as well. Ooh, threw the tipped ball, gets a full-on hand on it. Ooh, that was a pretty throw, and then a good catch, good concentration there. This half, Love is 7 of 10 for 107 yards and a touchdown. Josh Jacobs not going anywhere. Lions are making it a priority to stop the run here. Jordan Love's 10 of 17 for 168 yards and a touchdown. Josh Jacobs 17 runs for 65 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Christian Watson has 114 of those 168 yards. Jordan Love not doing a great job distributing the ball, but, he's got a man. As long as he's throwing a little. Just over 6.5 minutes to go before the end of the game. Packers are going to want a field goal, at least. Jordan Love drops back deep. He looks deep. He looks over the middle to Dontavian Wicks, who breaks 1 tackle, and he almost breaks a second. They're inside the red zone. That's the first time we've seen Dontavian Wicks make a play. And a good spin move to break the tackle there, to get a solid gain of almost 30 yards. It was just a normal little cut inwards route, and then just spins away from Branch there. Great job. So Dontavian Wicks Drain 6 minutes. How do you're already at the 20. They just have to run it. But if the Lions, Brian Branch was injured on the play. That is big for Detroit. It looks like it might be a toe injury. Foot injury. NFC playoff picture as it stands. The Lions are the 1 seed. The Eagles are the 2. The Seahawks are the 3. The Falcons are the 4. Vikings, Packers, and Commanders come in at 5, 6, and 7. While in the hunt are the Bucks, Cardinals, Rams, and 49ers. The rest of the NFC West and Tampa Bay. Yeah, that in the hunt is like, yeah, it's the NFC West and the Bucks. Yeah, there's really 4 competitive teams that, in my book, are marked down as teams that could go all the way. The Lions, the Vikings, the Packers, and the Eagles. And that's kind of it from what I've seen. Like maybe the Seahawks or Bucks or Falcons could put off like some sort of crazy upset, maybe even the Commanders. But it would take quite an effort. Detroit Lions remaining schedule, they have 2 teams that should be easy and 2 tough ones between 10 and 2 teams. That'll give them a bit of a challenge. And if Detroit loses this one, then they lose 2 other ones. They might be looking at 13 and 4. Late season collapse for the Lions perhaps on the way. Or even if they win one of them, they basically lock up the number 1 seed. 1st and 10. No, I agree. Jordan Love drops back. He'll throw to Dontavian Wicks up the middle, who gets absolutely nailed. At the end of that one, he's slow to get up. David Long Jr. laid it out on Dontavian Wicks. Not good for the Packers. He's saying, help me get up. He'll stand up on his own accord. So his teammates were worried about him for a second there. He says, just help me get up. Just help me get up. Good route running there. But he gets drilled by David Long Jr. Falcons are not making it out of the wild card round. I agree with you. They have the Vikings. It's like, even if Vikings, Packers, Commanders, they don't beat any of them. They're 4 of 4 in the red zone are the Packers. Here they go, trying to make it 5 of 5. Oh, they might be giving the Lions a little too much time here and not leaving enough for themselves. They're going to want to either score right now or they're going to want to waste 5 minutes in this amount of time. So I would say they might want to score right now. The Lions show blitz. They hand it off to Jacobs. Josh Jacobs gets about 2. There's a helmet on the ground. One of the D linemen of the Lions lost his helmet. It's about 2 yards. 2nd and goal. Five minutes to go before the end of the game. The Lions lead by 3. The Packers, I'm telling you, I'm going to say they need to score very soon in the next minute. Or they need to stall out this clock as long as possible. I don't think they can stall it out long enough to settle for just a touchdown. I think they're going to need something a little more. Jordan Love looks to his right. He throws on the run. He's got Josh Jacobs. Touchdown, Packers, but there are numerous flags. See what the flags are. It was a beautiful play design, though, but it might have been OPI. It is OPI. Because there were like 3 refs that threw a flag. It is offensive pass interference on Christian Watson, taking away the touchdown. So Christian Watson, everyone's favorite Packers wide receiver. Let's see it. Oh, whoa, yeah. It was not only offensive pass interference, it was an offensive body check. He's like, I'm just going to throw my shoulder into this guy's sternum if that's okay with everyone. That was an awful offensive pass interference penalty that backs him up big time. 2nd and goal. Yeah, I mean, it's dong. It's Jaden Reed in motion. There's someone crossing the field here. Yep. Jordan Love looks deep. He's got happy feet. He'll throw deep towards the left side and out of bounds. 3rd and goal from about the 15 or 20-yard line. It's not an easy one. Packers might end up settling for a field goal here. They might have to rely on defense. Wouldn't my prediction be so crazy if it actually is 34-31 Packers? I would be so happy. Third and goal from the 16. Kraft in motion. Love has to look deep. He steps up. He's on the run. He has to stiff arm someone. He is taken down by Turner. And Turner slams Love into the ground. But, I mean, Love didn't give himself up. So, that's a valid call there. So, that was Turner making the tackle. Oh, man, he straight up, like, face planted him. He had an open receiver. He just had to make the throw. But he just slams his foot in there. So here comes Brandon McManus. It's 31-31. We got a tie game with 3:38 to go. The Lions are getting the ball back, though. Be careful. It's not over yet. 31-31, 3:38. Oh, this one's going to be a tight close here. Tight finish. I think this might have just surpassed our largest score that we've seen. Let me check. So many calendar entries. Wow. I got 10 calendar entries. That's crazy. Like, the red dot bothers me. I'm getting emails and everything too. That's crazy. Oh, it's me. That's funny. It's me. It's an email telling me that I'm live. I'm like, I know. Let's see if I can find the number. I know the previous highest was Chargers Ravens. And the score of that one was 30-23. That's 53. We have officially passed. So this is our best game thus far that we've commentated on, and it is going to have a wild ending. 31-31. It's going to be real close. How do we think this one's going to end? 34-31 is what I'm thinking. 34-31 Packers. I'm sticking to it. I'm looking forward to it. They can do it, right? Oh, I've accidentally hit the mouse. That could have been bad. That could have been very bad. I'm thinking 34-31. What about you, Pepper? What are you thinking? I'm thinking Packers win. I think they come up with a huge stop. Statue of Barry Sanders outside of Ford Field. You're in Detroit, Michigan. When I was a kid, I had no idea where Detroit was. I'm like, Detroit's in Michigan? Barry Sanders, 15,269 career rush yards, fourth in NFL history. He's the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2004. He's got a spot on the Lions Hall of Fame as well. Kent McMahon, yep. All right, come on. I'm rooting for the Packers defense. This could be the greatest prediction of my entire career. Come on, Packers. Okay, wait, I want to be right now. I said it from the beginning. Packers 34, Lions 31. It might actually happen. This could be the greatest prediction of all time. Watch McManus miss. Missed the game-winning kick. That's something a Packers kicker would do. 1st and 10. Goff under center. He's got Gibbs in the backfield. They're going play action. Goff looks deep. He's got Williams. 1st down, Jamison Williams. My prediction's not going to be right, is it? 3:33 to go. Well, you know, I might get the score right, but maybe not the team. Like, I drilled the score, guys. I got the team one wrong, but I mostly got it right. Ooh. That was inbounds for Jamison Williams. He's got 80 yards on the day. Williams in motion. Goff under center. Play action again. He rolls. He's going to hit Tim Patrick again. 1st down, Tim Patrick. 11 yards to the 40-yard line. Detroit is moving. 3:20 to go. I don't know. The Packers defense is kind of throwing this away. This is turnover territory. Just over 3 minutes. The Packers need to lock down. Yeah, but the Lions can just run it out once they're in field goal range. They can just run out the clock once they're in. Like Jake Bates, clutch kicker of the year so far. He doesn't miss this situation. Jahmyr Gibbs on the handoff. He only gets about 1. They need something, a turnover, a sack, something. This drive here could be for the entire game. Jordan Love wants to get back out on that field. But the defense needs to come up with a huge stop. Lions have to run one more play. Did Jake Bates go to Arkansas? I actually didn't know that. Jared Goff drops back to pass. He'll dump one off to Gibbs, who will be having a nice tackle there by McDuffie. Takes him out of bounds, stopping the clock with 1 second before the 2-minute warning. That was a crucial tackle by McDuffie. Makes them run one more play, saving the Packers essentially a timeout. That was a good tackle. Matt LaFleur saying, "Let's go." Oh wait, no, he seems angry. Never mind. Almost like he wanted it to go. Oh yeah, he is irate at something. As one of the most cool-headed head coaches, he is mad at something. I'm not sure what he's angry about. Like, what? I thought that was a good play. McDuffie's like, what? I thought I did a good job. And blitz coming. Uh-oh. And Gibbs got the 1st down. Gibbs gets the 1st down there. That was a awful defense there by Green Bay. Just a little screen was all it took. 2-minute warning. 1 minute, 55 seconds to go. The Lions are already in field goal range. It's not looking good for Green Bay. Can the Packers survive? It's a tie game. Lions driving. 1:55 to go. Man, I might get the score right, but not the right team. Come on, Goff. Yeah. Screens never work for me. It feels like it always works for the other team, but never for me. Throw a screen, I'm like, I threw another interception. Oh, this is coming down to it. It's coming down to it, folks. Stay in your seats. This is going to be quite an ending. Trying to think of ways that the Packers can win this, but really it comes down to Bates missing the field goal. Or they block it. Because at this point, they've basically run out of time. They have to send it to overtime. I don't see how they can get the ball back. They only have 2 timeouts. Goff's just going to hand the ball off. Good luck. Yeah, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of strategy. Like, I think he has to miss. Has to get blocked. Or something catastrophic has to happen, like Jahmyr Gibbs fumbles. I want to be right. I want to have the 34-31 Packers win. I want to go down in history. Yeah, something like really bad would have to happen for Detroit, and it might have to go to overtime because I'm not sure the Packers can score in that time. Next Thursday, Rams 49ers. Yeah, we're gonna pass on that. It's looking like we're gonna take a trip to Seattle. That's what it's looking like. Oh, yeah. We're taking a trip to Seattle, folks. That's right. Next week, we're heading to Lumen Field as we watch these very Green Bay Packers fend off the Seattle Seahawks on a tough road visit to the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, Seahawks, Packers. Amon-Ra St. Brown in motion. Pressure coming. It's going to be play action. They actually threw the ball to David Montgomery, who is upended after a gain of about 3. Jinx. There's a flag. See the flag's on. Detroit's pointing at Green Bay. I'll see what they're debating.
Holding. Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalties. First down.
This is a holding on Frank Ragnow on the play. So there was a lot of debate on which side it was on, whether it was on defense or offense, but it was Ragnow that they called the hold on, so that'll back him up. Yeah, that's a hold. That is a hold. A small one, but if you got the grip here, that's a hold. I think that's the correct call. All right, so that'll push him back 10 yards. 1st and 20 for Detroit. He got a distance now. Jake Bates in his first year, who's voted clutch kicker of the year thus far. They start an I formation, then Laporta moves out. Montgomery's the back. They're going to hand it off to Montgomery. He'll get about 3, and then he'll be pushed back. 2nd and 17. Oh boy. All right, here we go. Got a minute 42 to go. Packers called their second timeout. If the Packers can get him here, if they can stop him here, they'll have just under a minute to drive down the field, probably 40 seconds to get a field goal. All right. This is tough. This is definitely a challenge for both of these teams. We'll see if Jordan Love can drive down the field in 40 seconds with no timeouts. Could very well take a miracle. Second and 17, Goff to throw. He throws deep. He's got St. Brown. He might have gotten the first down. And they're going to spot him. We'll see where they spot him. Oh, that might have just sealed the game for Detroit. What a throw by Goff. That might be it. They still have one more down, too, and they just handed off to Montgomery. Nixon might have pulled him over. Oh, man. That is tough. Such a wobbly pass, too. We'll see. Amon-Ra thought he had it, that's for sure. Listen, I mean, it was hit as he threw, and it still drilled him. Like, he got hit. No, he didn't. I don't know why that ball was so off.
And in lieu of the 10-second runoff, Green Bay has elected to take their third and final charge timeout. Terry McCauley, what are you making of this?
So, yeah, there was a lot of missed words in that announcement. It's actually an expedited review. They made it short because he was short. He didn't make the line to gain. It does require a 10-second runoff, but Green Bay had already used their timeout.
Yeah.
So what happened was they marked him short, but since it was a review, there would have been a 10-second runoff. So Green Bay elected to take a timeout to stop the clock. They had already taken their timeout anyway. So since it was an expedited review, they're short, and it would have had a 10-second runoff. Green Bay called the timeout to avoid that. So Green Bay's out of timeouts. So this is it. If Detroit gets the first down, this game's a wrap. 3rd and inches. Goff just has to fall forward. Can Green Bay get the stop? 3rd and inches. Hand off to Montgomery. He might not have gotten there. He did not get there. It's 4th down. He did not get the first down. He is just shy. Do you go for this? He might keep his offense out there. He might keep his offense out there. Detroit's going to wait until the last second possible to call their first of their 3 timeout. How Dan is Dan? $43 seconds. They have to kick the field goal. They have to. Oh, this is so risky. Especially when the Packers have been so good on 4th and short, too. They've stopped them like 3 times on just 3rd and short, 4th and short. What a stop there. Oh, man, this is such a tough call. I would just don't. I would just kick the field goal. 43 seconds. Worst case scenario, you send it to overtime. I would kick it. And out is Jake Bates. They are not going for it on 4th and inches. Okay, 3 of 3 on lead-changing field goal attempts in the final 2 minutes of the 4th quarter / overtime. No, they're not. They're not kicking. Jared Goff just walked back on the field. You're kidding. They're going for it. They're going for it on 4th and inches. Oh my goodness. Goff under center. Laporta in motion. Goff trips, but he hands it to Montgomery. It's a first down. The Lions will win this one. That's basically it. They got the first down. Goff slipped. That was almost catastrophe, but he gets the handoff off, and Montgomery gets the first down. Oh, okay. They're looking at it to see if he did, in fact. Oh, he was down. That's interesting. His knee is down. His knee is down. Okay, I'm unmuting.
Amazing.
Hey, you got to be who you are, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You got to be who you are.
He's Dan Campbell.
No, yeah, I think it's still a first down. I don't think it matters.
I mean, what he said. Don't forget, he's the guy who came in and he said, "We're gonna bite off your kneecaps." Everyone says, "Who is this?" Who?
Yeah. And look at his face, Goff. You know what? That was about not getting in the kicker closer. You know what that was about? Taking all the time.
Man, that was a risk that's paid off yet again. You do not know how lucky Dan Campbell has gotten in these situations. So the Lions will keep their offense out there for most likely one last play before sending the kickoff team out there. Sending the kicking team out. Okay, so the knee does not make a difference. But it doesn't matter. They review it anyway, and there wasn't anything there. I don't think that's a rule change. I think since it wasn't a knee, he wasn't touched. I don't. It's complicated, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't count. So the clock restarts. 20 seconds. They just have to run the ball basically. Oh no, he's just sliding. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Timeout. Detroit. Out comes Jake Bates. If this is the game, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be in Seattle next week as these very Green Bay Packers take on the Seattle Seahawks at Lumen Field. Thanks for staying through this. Oh, man. If he has to make this. All right. We're standing. Hello? Oh, I'm not plugged in. I'm standing crouched then. Stop. 35-yard attempt. This should be easy for Jake Bates. For the win. The snap's good. The hold's good. The kick is drilled. The Lions win. 34-31. That is your final score here today. The Detroit Lions have pulled away with another victory. I got the score right. I didn't get the team right. I think that's still a win. I got the score right. I'll take that. And I got it in the right fashion, too. I said game-winning field goal. I nailed it. Almost. It's just the team. 11 straight wins, the longest streak in Detroit Lions team history. The Detroit Lions have officially clinched a playoff berth. We will see the Lions in the playoffs. Thank you guys so much for watching. Lions 34, Packers 31. Thank you so much for coming out. We'll see you next week in Seattle, Sunday Night Football, as the Packers take on the Seahawks. Thank you so much for coming out. Bye-bye.